Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Eira is looking a little big. How's that? Yeah, that's about right. Just move it back. Okay, that'll work. Oh wait, no, yeah. Is that full volume? It is. Good. How are you doing, everybody? This fine day. How's the debate going? No, I'm kidding. We're not gonna talk politics. Don't bring up politics, Toast. I mean, I guess you can if you want. Actually, I won't get mad at anyone if they want to. But I ain't gonna do it. I don't want to upset anyone. We have to move on. Malarkey. Look, I mean, if there's malarkey, you got to deal with that. You gotta deal with the malarkey. So today we're doing Katawa Shoujo, but as I said, yes, I don't know why I said it like that. But as I said yesterday, we'll be doing Pokemon after this because the new DLC for Sword and Shield just came out. And I just checked and it did come out, and I downloaded it, so that's all good to go. After this, sounds like it is easy to get working on a pirate ship. Malarkey. He's caught malarkey, me lads. It's too late for him. He got malarkey. Yeah, I guess. Alright. A couple days later, Shizune heads off to go eat lunch by herself and doesn't come back. She must really be swamped with student council work, although I know that she probably made most of that work for herself. Speaking of, I didn't really make a note of this last time, but this route's getting kind of fucked. It's like, I don't know. It's like messed up. Like, I don't know. Something about it. It's like Shizune and Misha both seem like really sad, and Hisao just seems really fucking confused. I don't know what's going on, man. It's the everyone becomes sad route. Even though the Rin route was also pretty depression central. Grand Depression Central Station Central. I said central before station. Speaking of Grand Central Station, I've been there once. Because I've been to America once. I want to get to the student council room. I find the door unlocked. Before opening it, I hold back for a second to see if I'll hear Misha's laughing through it. Nothing. I'd almost take that as a sign that no one's in, but Shizune wouldn't leave the door unlocked in that case. Oh, are we gonna get a CG of sleeping? We always get sleeping CGs. I think we didn't actually get one for Hanako, but we got one for Rin. She's at her desk sleeping in her chair with her arms folded over her chest. What a stiff pose. If it weren't for her eyes being closed, there would be no way to tell that she was asleep. In fact, I can't even be sure that she's asleep now. Normally, I'd tap the desk to wake anyone else up, but it wouldn't work with her. I immediately start thinking of tricks I could play on her if she's sleeping. It's disappointing that my train of thought goes in those kind of directions. Oh, no, she's just up. No sleeping CG, come on. We got 1 out of 2, there's always one. Well, maybe there won't be a second. Have we seen her sleeping already? I don't think so. I guess we're not getting one. Hello, good afternoon. She sends one greeting with each hand. It's really confusing. Hey, what were you doing? Secretly slacking off? Shizune smiles, but lowers her hand to conceal it, and tries her best to look annoyed instead. Let me turn down that music on my end, good lord. Alright, there we go. Don't just stand there, it makes me nervous if I'm sitting down and you're not. Take a seat in the nearest chair while Shizune pauses to adjust her glasses on the bridge of her nose like she's fine-tuning an instrument. Why are you so far away? Does that make you nervous too? Pursing her lips, Shizune doesn't look too amused at my taunting her. I had some free time, so I thought I would drop by and see if you were still busy. Do you want to help me? Yeah. Too bad. I'm grateful, but it's not necessary. I just finished the last of it, and now everything that needed to be done is done. So formal. Wish it was just as business-like yesterday. Are you both getting serious for official student council business? I'm always serious, like the student council candidates should be. That was fast, from zero to immediately criticizing people who aren't even our colleagues yet, before I've had the chance to stretch my legs. At least the presidents, and they need in what? It's it. What is that word?
Initiative.
Oh, initiative. That's how it's spelled? Good God. Okay. No, I know that word. Initiative. They need initiative. Then maybe they can motivate everyone else, or at least strong-arm them along. But even though there's a bunch of them, they're also wishy-washy. There's no one running for vice president, so they all want the big prize, but none of them have the right drive for it. And then the treasurers are always so flaky. I've decided to use my power to just eliminate the position. Eliminate? Hang on, give me a sec. The background of my the wallpaper is way too noisy and it's fucking with my eyes. So let's set as background. There we go. I just set a pure color black as my background. And now there's less fucking noise on screen and I can focus better on the tiny ass Katawa Shoujo window. It's so fucking small. It's not even widescreen resolution. Maybe if it was, I could do something about it. Learning spelling with Eira. Look, sometimes words are spelt weird. I knew that word, I just didn't know it was spelt that way. Besides, people don't need to know how to spell nowadays. It's 2020, you just autocorrect everything. The only word that genuinely, consistently gives me trouble, where every time I try to spell it, I spell it wrong, and then autocorrect also doesn't know what to do, and I have to, like, look it up, is tongue. The word tongue is just, I can never spell it right, and autocorrect never gives me the right options. I don't know, tongue's a weird word. Wait a sec, please, can you even do that? I don't think it works that way. It is how it is. With that, Shizune stares grimly into the distance, rubbing the frame of her glasses. That doesn't answer the question, future dictator. I'm disappointed. They should want me out of here faster, because they want the job, or at least disagree with me having the job. If I can't mobilize a bunch of student council wannabes for either reason, all my work will have been for nothing. If they're going to be so slow about it, I'll just hold on to my office as long as possible. Shizune punctuates the sentence with a snap of her fingers, creating a sound as sharp as a gunshot. I wonder if she knows how loud she can do that. It's definitely an attention grabber, so I could only see it as invaluable to a mute. She might have practiced it because of that. All of it, huh? That's too harsh. I always thought this is the real test. Leaving a lasting impression is important. That's why I don't build sandcastles. They crumble when you leave. Maybe, but if I see an especially neat one, I still think it's impressive. I'll say it's impressive. I kind of admire you, so to me it wasn't for nothing. She tugs at her glasses as if she wants to take them off, smiling wryly. Sorry. I was careless, and something selfish slipped out. I've always wanted to stand at the top. It doesn't matter what it was, as long as I was the best at it and understood it completely and made it my own. Like when you hear a song and dream of being a musician, or see a plane and wish you could be a pilot. Have you ever had a dream like that? Yeah, that like fleeting dream where you're like, that'd be kind of cool, and then you remember that you can only do a limited amount of things in your life, and you already have like enough hobbies and enough things you work on. Yeah, the first time I played soccer, I'd wondered if maybe I could ever get good enough to wow people. That was just a fantasy though. As soon as I saw the gap between me and people with real talent, I put those dreams behind me. Well, with my heart the way it is, I can't play soccer anymore anyway. Do you still have dreams like that? No, they're unrealistic. I realized it very quickly. There is always someone better. Okay, but that's true for everyone. What? That's not a reason to give up on things. There's someone better already. Guess I can't do it. That means you'd have to find something completely brand new. Of course there's someone better than you. Are you fucking kidding me? A nostalgic expression crosses her face. She looks oddly mature right now, as if the days of competing vigorously against others for supremacy are long behind her. Of course I know that nothing could be further from the truth. Just last week she wanted to see which one of us could blow the biggest bubble with a piece of gum. It could be that she was even worse when she was younger, a terrifying thought. I liked that there was always someone better. When someone greater than me would appear, I'd get so excited. I'd want to challenge them. Even though in the end they would usually turn out to be better and I would be left in awe. There are some people who are on a different level completely. After a while I got jealous. I wanted something like that for myself. Is that what the student council is? The thing just for you? No. Even though it feels like that sometimes, it feels like that sometimes. That wasn't why I decided to do it. That is another story entirely. I would have put the full stop after sometimes, but sure, whatever. But I like being student council president. Even if the work is hard and I'm always biting off more than I can chew, that is what keeps it exciting. People at the top shouldn't be able to be comfortable all the time anyway. You sound like a farmer. Although that wouldn't suit her. Shizune would look cute in overalls and a straw hat. Shizune literally that one unaffiliated character that randomly shows up to occasionally beat up the overpowered hero as an enemy. What? I get what you're saying, but... I had a character like that in this comic I was writing once. It was basically a Deus Ex, but I always kept them involved in the story so that it kind of wasn't a Deus Ex, because I always reminded them, hey, this person does exist. So they can intervene anyway. So if that wasn't the reason, why did you run for the job? I didn't, but afterwards I decided to stick with it anyway. I wanted to be the student council president because the old student council was stupid. And I want to stir people up so that they will be able to say, that was interesting, today was interesting, that kind of thing. Memorable experiences. I'm happy because I think we succeeded. You and Misha and me. Using a lot of ands there, Shizune. I have a selfish desire too, though. At first it was something I thought would only be a nice bonus, but I've gotten greedy. Greedy guts. This is why it would make me happy if the elections go smoothly. It would be the only way that I could see that my wish was granted. Are the elections going smoothly, Toast? It sounds like they're not. Look at this relevant conversation. What is it then? It's a secret. Biden, Trump, and throw Bernie in there too. Visual novel dating sim when? Sensing that I might not be ready to let such a weak dodge slide by so easily, Shizune quickly waves down any attempt at a follow-up, embarrassment coloring her face. It's something she wants to keep to herself, only because it's too silly to do otherwise. I start to feel a pang of hunger and check my watch. It's earlier than it looks. Too early for dinner. Do you have any kind of food in your desk? For a second, it looks like the question confuses her, but she recovers quickly. Desks are for supplies. Food is supplies. Supplies. Make something needed or wanted available to someone. Yeah, pretty much. That's like everything, I guess. I should have eaten lunch. I don't think it would be a problem if I didn't. If I was working, I wouldn't have to think about it. I'd be too busy to be hungry. She puts her hand up to her mouth in a poor attempt to conceal a laugh, and tries to hide it further by pretending to use it to push her glasses further up the bridge of her nose. I guess you're not, since you already ate. I'm not good enough to sign the appropriate words, so I settle for pointing at the stack of Chinese food containers leaning precariously out of the top of her trash can. Those are from yesterday. Then we're both hungry. Let's get something to eat. Not from the cafeteria. There wasn't anything good at lunch, so I really doubt there will be anything good left over. Order something? Ordering out 2 days in a row is unnatural, only in case of emergencies. That is my personal policy. Wow. You know, some people order out every night. It's a good way to waste money. Can't you people just cook? Oh wait, I forgot. Sal thinks spices are advanced cooking, so he probably doesn't know shit about how to cook. And this is where she should think of putting some snacks in her desk. It would be an easier way of dealing with these kind of emergencies. I want to tell her, but signing out how hungry I am like 5 times has made me too tired to be a smartass. You guys live in a dorm. There should be a dorm kitchen. Can't you just go cook something? Why does no one cook? They're high school students, right? They should know how to cook. At least something. The temptation is really great, though. Hi. Mrs. distinctive up and down voice sounds muffled through the door. She bursts in a second later. Hick-chan, you're here too. Two? How did you know there was already someone in here? If it opens, someone is inside. Waha! Am I interrupting? Shizune shakes her head. Great, that's really great. But I was sure I would be. Is this a break? I thought so too, but it turns out everything student council related is over, for now. Is that why you're here? Waha, yeah, that's right, Hick-chan. Sorry to disappoint you. We were just discussing whether or not to order out for dinner. That sounds fun! Shizune isn't being very fun about it though. She says that she can't order food 2 days in a row. Are you hungry too? Because if you are, we could outvote her. That sounds fun, Hick-chan. And I am a little hungry. Before you would say it sounds like mutiny. Shizune pinches the frame of her glasses, clearly thinking that it does seem like mutiny, but being outvoted by a clean 2-to-1 margin. There is nothing she can do. Misha already has her phone out. It's awfully garish. Chick-chan, you promised we would have a student council thing. Just for us, right? Right? This can be it. Shizune only shakes her head. The last party she will be able to attend as Yamaku's student council president is too special for her to put that label on our spur-of-the-moment early dinner. Even though I'm sure the real thing will be just like this, a meal like any other with the three of us. After we finish eating and clean up, I say goodbye to them and head to my dorm. Although I don't feel particularly tired, I think I'll just go straight to sleep tonight. If I were back home, my mum would nag me not to go to bed right after eating, but what does she know? But what she doesn't know won't hurt her. Yeah, it won't hurt her, but it'll hurt you. Sleeping after eating is not good. Gotta give you time food to digest, man. Sorry, I muted the mic there. I have shapes with me because I'm hungry and haven't eaten dinner or lunch, and it's 1 p.m. It's shapes, lamb and rosemary. It's alright. It's alright. I mean, you can't really go wrong with shapes. It's fucking shapes. I always grab shapes when they're on special because they're so goddamn good. Shapes just Australian? They are, aren't they? Do shapes exist in America? Only Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, look at that. Is that because Arnott's is Australian? Yeah, it is. Damn, Americans don't have shapes? Fucking dude, I'm eating shapes right now. I just never eat meals. You can say. I wouldn't be surprised if I did the math and it turned out I eat snacks more than actual meals. That wouldn't surprise me. It's probably why I'm fat, but I have shapes. A almost done pack of Smith's salt and vinegar potato chips. Potato. And a bottle of iced coffee. Because I'm a very unhealthy person. But yeah, oh god. You Americans and your lack of shapes. Missing out. Bro, how am I going to get shapes when I'm in Japan? I'm going to have to import them. Anytime they're on special, I grab them. If I see them on special, I'm like, well, time to get them. Because normally they're too expensive. They're like $3 or something a box. $4? I don't know. They're crazy. On special, they drop to like $1. How do you live without squares and circles and spiked circles and the shape of the country Australia and also Tasmania shaped ones? There's all kinds of shapes. There's too many. There's like hexagon ones and all kinds of stuff. Take a look at the clock as soon as I get in it and realize that it's a lot later than I'd thought. It also feels a bit silly checking the clock when I have a phone and a wristwatch. Take off my watch and hold it in one hand while holding my phone in the other. Makes me feel powerful. What? And stupid. What? Makes me feel powerful. Australia and Tasmania. Yeah, there's shapes that are shaped in Australia and Tasmania. These ones are. Certain flavors are shaped like this. The Vegemite ones are shaped like that, which obviously makes sense. But this is just lamb and rosemary. And it's shaped like that, so who knows? Also, the Vegemite ones are actually really good. I wanted to get the Vegemite ones last night, but there were none left. So I went with lamb and rosemary instead. Check out Hisao being powerful with his time power. I try successfully to go to sleep, and I'm glad when someone finally interrupts me by knocking on my door after only a few minutes. I figure that it couldn't be anyone but Kenji, which is why I'm surprised when it ends up being Misha. Oh shit! Hi, Ekchan. You don't look happy to see me. No, I'm just kind of surprised. Did Shizune remember something that she wants me to do after all? It's late, but whatever. I guess it's good that I didn't change. Nope. I just thought I'd follow you back, Hick-chan. Freaking stalker. For fun? For fun? No, of course not. It's because she wants to talk. Must be about something important. Something she doesn't want Shizune to know about. That ain't Kenji. Yeah, it sure ain't. Do you want to come in? Yeah, thanks, Hick-chan. She walks in and immediately takes a seat in the chair. The natural thing to do, but I'd expect her to sit on the bed. Hick-chan. Misha frowns harshly, arms folded over her chest. It's like she's trying to play a grim interrogator. All it's missing is the mustache and the dangling, flickering light bulb of a string. Did you make Shik-chan sad? What do you mean? When I went to the office today, Shik-chan couldn't hear me coming. That's why. When I opened the door, I saw a really confused expression on her face. Shik-chan looked happy and sad, and I wanted to know why. Well, it wasn't because of me. I didn't even see it. I think she's depressed that she won't be student council president anymore in a few months. When I asked Shik-chan about it, she said that it was okay. That's meaningless. Shizune would say that, but it's ridiculous to think that she would let it go that easily. I mean, there are times when she'll want to fight me over the last apple, or chocolate milk, or whatever, and that is stuff that doesn't even matter. Chocolate milk is important. Okay, getting off topic, Misha. Okay, it is. Don't get mad, but not as much as student council is to her. She wouldn't just wave it off so easily. Wah, you're right. I thought that this was supposed to be an interrogation, but it appears Misha has already forgotten about it. But I don't want Shik-chan to lie to me to make me feel better. Haha. Most people don't know how serious Shik-chan is, and think she's just putting on a show. I'm happy that you understand her, Hick-chan. It's obvious, especially with how she talked about it today. Misha leans in closer with interest, resting her head on her palms. Really? What did she say? They are close enough that I don't think much of how she is praying. Why she joined the student council, sort of. She started, but then decided that some stuff should just stay classified and signed, "It's a secret." So I guess that's what she told me. It's a secret. Well, if someone tells you that they have a secret, you can sort of call that a secret in itself, Hick-chan. What is this, the Misha route? Yeah, seriously. I know, we've gotten tons of these little, like, extra side scenes with Misha. Also, this music's really good. It played at the end of Hanako's route, I think. It's also getting a bit loud. Come on, game, settle down. Just like according to you, luck is a skill. It can be. Wahaha! Be careful, not so loud. Hi, Hick-chan. You're gonna wake up half the people in the building, and on top of that, dorms aren't co-ed. Hick-chan, are you thinking something dirty? Stop being weird. If you are, it's okay, I think. What a weird thing to say. Hearing that makes me realize how easy it's been for me to talk to Misha all this time. That I would be able to go this long without feeling the need to be on guard. This is the first time I have. I feel sad, Hick-chan. It's funny. The happier Shik-chan gets, the more depressed I feel. Even though I should be happy for Shik-chan, I still am, but I can't talk about my problems with her. Why not? Just like Shik-chan can't talk about her problems to me. It's the same thing, Hick-chan. If we have that kind of problem, then I'm not sure anymore what I should do. I wonder if I'm a bad friend. A Misha route, stop. Misha is getting awfully cozy though. But this is what I was talking about. I was like, everyone seems so sad. It's like, are these girls gonna stop being friends or something? It's crazy. Misha gets up and quickly drops herself on the bed until we're sitting only a few inches apart. Just a couple of seconds later, she pushes her head forward and gives me a light kiss. Holy shit! Oh, misses my lips more due to bad aim on her part than because of me. What are you doing? Holy shit. Did they trick me? Is this the Misha route? What? Oh, it's just a formality. I'd be stupid to not know what she's getting at. It's just that it seems so unlikely that I'm hoping there will be some way I won't have to deal with it. Now she decides to be shy and giggles, embarrassed. Do you like me, Hick-chan? Yeah. What the hell? Head is buried in my chest. It feels like she's talking into my scar. She might be able to feel it brushed against her cheek. I've tried too hard to hide it from both of them before. It seems like such a dumb thing to have worried so much about in retrospect. Please comfort me, Hik-chan. Just for today. Holy shit, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, save. Save a billion times. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. God damn it. What the fuck? Mishra out. No, no, no toast. Is it the Mishra out? Come forth. So is this... What is this, though? NTR, NTR. Basically. Oh. What is this, though? Nani sore? Nani kore? One of those is right. I don't know. So what? I'm guessing that one of these is... This is probably a decisive moment. So is it... Oh my god. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Whew, glad I got the mic up in time for that one. So is it like... Is it gonna be that Shizune... That the good ending of the Shizune route is the Shizune route? And the bad ending of the Shizune route is actually the good ending of the secret Misha route. Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening here? I feel like that's what's happening here. No comfort for Misha. We'll do it later. I'm only doing it... Honestly, if I was like in the mode of like, oh, I'll act like myself, I probably would comfort Misha here because Misha's cool. I like Misha more than Shizune, honestly. But if we're going with... I'm doing all options anyway. We'll just do this because we've been on the Shizune route this whole time. And then we'll do Misha route. I guess Misha route after this. Assuming that's what happens. I don't even know. Maybe we just cheat on Shizune and then bad things happen. Before I can answer, she pushes her whole weight against me and unbalances me enough to send us both onto the bed. Holy shit. If I don't answer quickly, then the situation will only become more precarious. I know that I should have never let things get as tangled as they already are, so even though it isn't the most tactful way to refuse her, I push her off of me. Misha falls backwards onto the sheet, so softly that it seems like she barely fell at all. Eyes closed, she stays like that for a while before getting up with a hollow laugh. You're right, Hik-chan. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how I feel. Regretful? Slightly. Even though I've grown to hate regret. Sad? For a multitude of reasons. I'm also a little angry, both at her and at myself. And in a way, it even seems like I'm not really feeling it all. Don't be. No, Hik-chan, it's okay. I am, really. But just asking was enough for me, I think. I'm happier that you said no. Is that right? Well, that's good. Yeah, it is. Thanks, Hik-chan. She pulls herself up and leans against the wall. I'm assuming she is. My head hurts so much that I don't bother opening my eyes. I lie on my bed, listening to the rustle of her hair, of my hair brushing against the sheets, and the grass waving in the wind outside. Wow, no NTR. I guess that I should say more to reassure her, but I wonder if that would really help. Maybe it would be better to say nothing. I just don't know. Although, I think that in this situation, there's no one right thing I can do. Good night, Ik-chan. With that, she leaves, the door clicking shut behind her like a guilty whisper. Maybe it's because I'm eager to put today behind me, but after Misha is gone, I find it much easier to fall asleep. I do so almost instantly. Act 4? No, wait, really? Jeez, where the fuck is Act 4? The following morning, I wake up thinking that most of my time is going to be spent trying to avoid Shizune and Michelle. This Act 3 is fucking huge. What happened last evening still makes me feel uneasy. I thought that sleeping on it would help alleviate that feeling. I feel like an idiot for believing it would be that easy. I think about whether or not Misha might feel the same way. If so, she probably won't show up to school today. I'd consider doing the same, but it would be pretty suspicious, and staying inside all day in fear doesn't appeal to me. It never really has. Like I thought, Misha isn't in class this morning. Shizune is, but today is a busier day than most. So she gives her all concentrating, what? Oh, she gives her all concentrating on her classwork. What an archaic sentence. And that means there's a little idle time for her to start up a conversation with me. I'd grown so used to seeing Shizune and Misha together that I hadn't realized until yesterday how much that hasn't been the case lately. Misha, we're out dead. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I did think it was weird that there was no Misha out. And now there, like, kinda is one, I guess. And it's a shame because the empty seat next to her reminds me that they are a pair. So yesterday is something I'll take to my grave. If I feel that way about it, I wonder how Misha must feel. Just as regretful. When she came to me, she was more depressed than sexy to start with. I can only imagine how much worse it would be now. Yeah, maybe she should have came being sexy instead of depressed. Like, what if she just came in and, like, ripped off her clothes and she had sexy lingerie on? Then what would her sow do, you know? Thinking about it like that, I want to see her again, but only half-heartedly. The other half of me is still terrified, even though I hate to use that word. It makes me feel ashamed, but I'm sure it's the only way to describe myself right now. Spend the next couple periods in the library, not in the mood to sit in classes for the rest of the day, but unwilling to walk back to the dorms. While I'm lazily flipping through the pages of an uninteresting historical fiction novel, Shizune drops herself into the chair across from me, pouting. I think it's sort of pointless to come to school and then skip every class. Sorry. At least tell everyone that you're sick. I'm just not feeling it today. Yesterday I was fine though. Tomorrow I'll probably be fine. Taking a sick day in the middle of the week is just too suspicious. That 24-hour flu thing or whatever won't fly. It's not suspicious. It is. I turn back to my book, but Shizune gently pulls it down, in contrast with her expression, which straddles the line between concern and anger. Is something wrong? What? Is something bothering you? Because you're acting a little suspicious today, in a different way. The sow kinda sus. If there is, just tell me, or I'll be mad. I'm not good at reading people. What a ridiculous thing to say after picking up my mood so easily. She is only half kidding, but there is some truth in it. After all, she can't hear tone, has to rely on reading to communicate with others. It's as if you could only ever have conversations with someone through text messages. That has to mess with you in some way. It's probably why she stares so intently at people in order to gauge their reaction. Or maybe it's why she pushes people so hard to get them to react. I've thought about it before, but it's too hard to say for sure what Shizune's exact motivations are for anything. So I wonder how much of that was a joke. Sometimes it's easy to tell. This time, it isn't. Assuming it wasn't a joke, I can't tell her anything, because it's sign language. There's enough time to collect myself and lie effectively. Nothing. That face. That's like a face. I've just been thinking a lot about the student council's future lately. I believe Misha is doing the same, well, in her own way. It's all mine, but she isn't here today. I wish she would have let me know something, because I might need her help later today. Yours too, unless you're busy. I'm not. I'm busy fucking Misha. Thank you. I feel like I'm losing a lot of people close to me lately. I can't think of a good way to respond to that. Something reassuring and confident, telling her not to worry. I'm here for you. I'm not one of those people. Then who is? And it seems so forced. I manage to wave my hand that seems extremely callous as soon as I do it. You shouldn't feel that way. I might be just a little sick, not enough to go through the trouble of making it official. It's just easier for me this way. It's the wrong way. I've heard the hard way and the right way are usually the same thing, so it's not a big stretch to say that the opposite is true. The easy way is the wrong way? Usually. But fine, if you say you are alright, that's good enough for me. Wait. You asked me, so I'm turning around. Is everything okay with you? Yes. She signs it without a moment's hesitation. After that, Shizune waits to see if I'm going to follow up on it. I don't, and she leaves. I feel like an idiot for not going further, even though I think it's better that I didn't. I've been in the library for quite a while, and decided to go up to the roof for a change of pace. A fresh breeze hits me the second I open the door. This is really my favorite area of the school, I think. Then I see that I'm not the only one here. I can see a girl with bubblegum pink hair in front of me. Oh shit! Her back is to me, but I don't have to see her face to know who it is. I'm sure Misha is the only person in the world with hair like that. I get the feeling that I've stumbled on her at a bad moment. She obviously wants to be alone, and I wonder if she hasn't noticed my presence. If so, I'll leave right now. But she has, and turns to face me. And then, we get a crying Misha CG. She's not crying yet, but I totally fucking called that. I totally fucking called that. Fucking god. Visual novel gamer right here. Visual novel gaming god. Fucking cold that. You got predicted. The reads. I got the fucking download, man. No visual novel can stop me now. Reading this story like it's a book. Totally. I'm reading it like... I mean, it's kind of like a book. I'm reading it like... I'm 5 seconds ahead of the book. I just dabbed in real life. None of you can see it, but I dabbed. Oh shit, my nose is runny. Give me a sec, I need to blow my nose. You ever seen a man pop off over a visual novel? Because now you have. You won't get this anywhere else. You saw it here first, people. Oh, Hick-chan. I thought someone was behind me, but I didn't think it was gonna be you. This time you surprised me. She's referring to a oh wait, we should show image. Look at that. Sad Misha. Her hair looks more Rin color there, instead of pink. Guess it's the orange lighting. Streamer gonna pog! I really am. Dude, I'm pogging right now over this. I tried to call a CG earlier and failed, so I'm glad I called this one. She's referring to a habit of sneaking up behind me and asking me to guess who it is. I've never been surprised by that. I'm surprised too, but this is good. I had something I wanted to talk to you about anyway. Now let's have sex on the roof. Not that. What's going on between you and Shizune? She won't tell me, so I'm asking you. Because you're easy to get an answer out of, since the same sign language that gives me the leeway to lie to her gives her a cushion against my questions, so that she can more easily brush them off. When she hesitates, I push her harder. Give me an honest answer, please. It's complicated, Hick-chan. It's because of something that happened a long time ago. I thought I could just forget about it, but it's really hard, so that the graduation coming up made me want to spend more time with Shik-chan. Oh, here we go, crying CG. I fucking called it. Shik-chan is always busy now, so We've been fighting, but I'm tired of it now. Because I like Shik-chan. So do I. No. I know you like her, Hik-chan. I mean that I like Shik-chan in the same way. I want her to be my girlfriend. Lesbians! Yes. Misha closes her eyes, like a condemned criminal confessing the last of her sins in front of the executioner. It only makes it harder for me to think of a response, and I know I have to give one. I see. I never knew. I didn't really want to come to this school, Hik-chan, but it sounded interesting. And even if everyone hated me, at least it felt like they would leave me alone. I was learning sign language, but wasn't very good at it. Lesbian pog! Shik-chan was trying to get people to join the student council because it was only her and Lily. Then she came up to me. I couldn't understand her at all. Still technically NTR. Yeah, oh shit! You're right! It is! It's still NTR, guys! NTR route. Am I being too loud? I feel like I'm talking way too loud. I feel like the mic volume usually doesn't get as high as it's getting. I usually talk at this volume, but I'm talking like this because I'm pogging. No. Yeah, it's still technically NTR, I guess, because, yeah, now we're just cucking Misha. Oof. Oof. Dropped some frames there. And then to make up for it, the fucking OBS was like, ooh, what if we give you 8,000 bitrate for like a second? Because they were on 0 for a second. I feel like that's weird. It must be, whenever my thing lags, it must be because it's just getting backed up. And not actually because it's just not getting the packets. Because it always does that. It like gets backed up. It like goes down to 0 for like a brief moment. And then when it goes back to not 0, the bitrate like shoots up past 3,000. Before then going back down to 3,000 and staying there until, you know, another issue happens. So, I guess that's what's happening. Still. That was weird that it had drop frames. Not like it matters, but... but Shik-chan wouldn't use her pen and paper. She knew that I was taking sign language classes. I was exposed quickly. I didn't know any. That only made her try harder, and I hated Shik-chan and thought she was making fun of me. That wasn't the reason, though. So, I slowly fell in love with Shik-chan, and I told her that I loved her. Oh shit, double CG! That's like... You know, it's pretty rare for the CGs to be this, this wide, I guess. Usually they're very, focused. They're more like close to people, maybe waist up or something. And even if they are, like, kind of getting full body-ish, it usually isn't two people with scenery, both full body, and it's like this is zoomed out so that you can see that much. Like, it's pretty rare for this kind of, for the visual novel. It was in the student council room, you know, when it was just the two of us. Had these fantasies of Shik-chan staying alone in the office, trying to put everything together all by herself. It seemed so lonely to me, and so sad. I think I wanted it to be that way. That way, I could be there for Shik-chan, and maybe Shik-chan would like me. Even though there was no reason for me to believe it, I did anyway. I wanted it to be true, so I was okay with letting myself believe it, even though I think I knew. That day was really, really beautiful too, Hik-chan. We were done with everything, and I was looking out through the window. Even through the window, the light was so warm. I wanted to stay like that forever next to Shik-chan. But then I looked at Shik-chan, and she had her back to the window, and was still working on something, blocking out the rest of the world. The light was on her shoulders, like when I would put a blanket on her shoulders, on my shoulders as a little kid. God damn it. Misha stops for a second as if trying to hold on to the image of Shizune in her mind. Shik-chan looked... It was like Shik-chan looked in a way that made me want to be with her, but it felt like it would be hard for that to happen. Wahaha. That was a really long time ago. My hair was different back then too. A little messy. I cut it because Shik-chan was always talking about it. Is that Misha? Anyway, I told her right there and there. Right then and there, I confessed. It's also not pink. I was rejected. So, I thought that was it, Hik-chan. Shik-chan was always trying to find me, and I hated Shik-chan again for it. And when I asked her why she was doing it, it was because I was her friend. Cheeks have a hint of red in them. I wonder how much expression she has had. What? Wonder how much experience she has had with crying, that she can keep herself from doing it so well. If she didn't pause to wipe her eyes, I might never have noticed. Having Shik-chan say that made me happy, but also sad. And even though she never meant to hurt me, it still hurts. Even now. Friend-zoned! Misha got friend-zoned. Shik-chan has a way of manipulating people, Hik-chan. Sometimes she wants to, and sometimes she doesn't really, but it happens anyway. And sometimes I'm just not sure exactly which one it is, and I feel doubt. I just wish that Shik-chan liked me instead of you. It made me wonder if I was starting to hate you and Shik-chan. Just a little. I didn't like that. Can we get an F for Misha? F for friendzone? F's in the chat for Misha. Oh no, I dropped to 2 viewers. What did I do wrong, 3rd viewer? So you were thinking maybe it would be better if I weren't here for you? Wait, what? If I weren't here at all. Why did I read for you? She looks confused. The thought never crossed her mind. That's not it, Hik-chan. I thought about it a lot these last few days, and I don't want to hate anyone. You or Shik-chan. It's so stupid that I ever felt like this, isn't it, Hik-chan? I don't want to think about this kind of stuff ever again. Now that I think about it, I guess this route was meant to be made as like the love triangle route. Or maybe it was meant to be a NTR route, but I guess that's what it is. Because, like, the other people are paired with someone that actually then has their own independent route. So the route isn't really a love triangle in any way. But this is obviously the only route that's like that, probably. So that's probably what it was for, to fill the love triangle quota, the studio mandated love triangle. And missing people and being apart from them. I'm tired of it and don't want to think about it anymore. I already did though, so I'm still really the worst kind of person. I wasn't thinking that it would be better if Hik-chan had never come to the school. I was thinking, wouldn't it be better if I just died? Misha presses herself harder against the fence at her back, as if hoping to slip right through it. Without really thinking about it, I grab her hand. My reflexes are terrible, and I manage to only grasp onto a few of her fingers. But it's unimportant. Sorry. It's just that you said something pretty weird just now. Yeah. I guess that's right, Hik-chan. Yeah. Do you want to know what I think? Shizune is the type of person who won't let anyone close to her except on her terms. It's frustrating. Sometimes it's even infuriating. So having Kenji route flashbacks. Oh god, yeah. I mean, I also instantly went there. I thought of that when she said that. I'm like, ooh, the Kenji route. That probably would have bothered me when I was in the hospital, and anyone who shut me out was dead to me. I'd forgotten all about it until recently. I got a letter, and it was all about that. I was mad. I thought, how can you accuse me of closing off myself of me? What? How can you accuse me of closing myself off from everyone and giving up? Isn't that what everyone else did to me? What else am I supposed to do? What can I do? Yeah. Even now I know that's how it happened, but she was right too. I did close myself off. So I made up my mind that I'm not going to let that be the case ever again. The hospital? Hik-chan, is that what those pills are for? Just listen, please. Shizune is the opposite of how I was. She has always wanted to draw people closer to her. That's the only reason Shizune was interested in me in the first place. I think... Oh, no. That's the only reason Shizune was interested in me in the first place, I think. And I think I was determined to not let that happen, in a way. Misha casts her eyes downwards, understanding perfectly. I never realized how hard that can be. And now, I feel like I'm going to return the favor. even if it takes twice as long. I already learned a second language just to get this far. It wasn't as hard as I thought, but it was definitely hard. Sometimes I feel like I was clawing my way up a mountain with how my hands hurt. And you did the same thing, and it was for the same reason, wasn't it? That's really amazing, which is why it makes me sad and a little angry that you would say a stupid thing like that. That's just what I believe, anyway. Her shoulders slump, and Misha almost slides to the floor, like she is drained of all energy. You're too dramatic, Kik-chan, she says while looking away, turning her head almost as if she wants to look out at the school grounds, but not turning it enough to do so. Wahaha! The door behind us opens, the sound only barely able to be heard over the ambient breeze. I've been looking everywhere for you two. Is this some secret meeting? She walks over to us, leaning against the fence next to Misha as if she needs to stop and catch her breath, before pushing herself off it and continuing. I'm bored sitting in the student council room every day now, without either of you even coming by. Taking some time off is fine, but this is just too much. Normally, Misha and I would be jokingly making excuses for ourselves at this point. This time, there's only silence. Shizune always expecting resistance, is thrown off balance by the lack of it. A few seconds pass in uneasy silence, which Shizune breaks with an ear-shattering snap of her fingers, smiling as if to say, Eureka. Let's go do something together. Like what? Anything. We should go to the student council room first, and then figure it out from there. It seems like a trick to get us to do work instead. Very funny. Misha laughs, managing to let out a restrained wahaha. That Shizune can't see it makes me feel better. It means that it wasn't only for her benefit. I was thinking that you both actually could help me with something. What else is there? We can't go out to eat. We already ordered in yesterday, and that was already breaking policy. 3 days in a row would be unforgivable. That fence is dangerous. Seriously. But that was ordering in, Shik-chan. Going out to eat is different. Yeah, totally different. You're both kidding yourselves. Before I can reply, Shizune grabs my hand, limiting my ability to do so. My options cut down so drastically I have no choice but to settle for making a face at her. Instead, She makes one back before extending her hand to Misha as well. When Misha is reluctant to take it, I walk forward as far as holding on to Shizune at the same time will allow me and take her hand myself. Hahaha. She only has a second to smile before Shizune starts pulling us impatiently towards the door, binding us together like a human chain. Damn, getting a lot of CGs. This one looks really awkward, actually. Something about it just isn't, like, drawn right? Something about it. Something about Misha. Misha doesn't look right. She doesn't look like her portrait. Her boobs are kind of drawn weirdly. Shik-chan's too, actually. Look at that. That's not how boobs work, but sure. Or rather, that's not how fabric falling on boobs works, but whatever. Skirts are also kind of weird. It's also the lighting. Lighting doesn't work well for this art style. It just makes it look messy. Also, who the fuck is that in the background? Who the heck is in the back? Yeah, that's what I just thought. Polygamy is the answer. Who the heck is in the back? Yeah, who the heck is that? Polygamy, true good ending. It's not even the ending, is it? Don't we have a fourth act? I thought there was 4 acts. No, I'm not going to look up the Shizune route in case I see spoilers. I thought there was an act 4. Secret route. Wait, really? Is there a secret route? I know it's common for the visual novels to have secret routes. I don't know if this one actually has one. Speaking of Doki Doki Literature Club, should have had a secret Monica route. Click on the girl on the back 500 times to unlock. That's just a playground rumor. Right there. You gotta beat the game 500 times without taking any damage and Link gets a gun in Ocarina of Time. Did you guys ever believe any of those There's like playground rumors from when you were a kid. I believed one. I probably believed a few actually, but there's one in particular I believed that I can remember. I remember that with Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii, I totally thought that you could unlock Taboo. That's his name, right? Taboo, the like final boss of Brawl that's just a story boss. I totally thought you could unlock him as a character because I saw people saying you could unlock him, but you had to win like an ungodly amount of matches. It was like in the thousands, and I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool. I want to unlock him. Neopets actually had stupid stuff like that though, where you had to click really specific things to advance secret events. Dude, that's crazy. I didn't play Neopets much. I played it a little bit, and I had some Neopet plushes, but I didn't actually play it that much. But that's hilarious. That's interesting though. That's crazy because then little kids that played Neopets would like... I guess Neopets are still a thing, so maybe even now. But they would find these stupid specific things that actually exist, tell their friends would see that yes, they actually exist, and then the kids are just more prone to believe any old fucking playground video game rumor they hear from someone else. I also believed some Pokemon related ones, because there's always Pokemon playground rumors. Mew on the Truck is like the original. Obviously that was before my time, well, Pokemon Red and Blue came out the year I was born, but before I played Pokemon. And so, like... But there was some Pokemon rumors I believed for, like, Ruby, Sapphire, and... What was after Ruby, Sapphire? Diamond, Pearl? I believed some Diamond and Pearl rumors, too. But yeah, I can't remember the specifics of those. I'm sure there's some other ones I thought existed, but the only one I can remember is the Taboo in Smash Bros. Thing. That's the only childhood rumor I remember actually believing. Although it's dangerous, none of us seem to think of letting go any step of the way. Through the school, out the doors, and across the grounds. This feels similar as if we're walking like this... What? As if we've walked like this before. The three of us, hand in hand. Of course, the mood was a lot happier then. The Daily Neopets.com Haunted Woods Part 1. What is this? Start off at the Gatsby camp, click follow the creepy path to the edge of the camp, click on the burnt out house at the right edge of the map of Nirvana, look in one of the 10 places shown below for the locket. After you find the locket, there will be a link at the top of the Nirvana maps that say view quest items. Click on it to see the items you have so far. Once you have found the locket, you can start asking questions. To do this, you need to visit various locations. Gilly needs to visit 4 games and speak to the owners to gain information. You'll need to talk to all those people. You may need to play the game once for the conversation to appear at the bottom of the page. Now it gets tricky. The part of conversation that the game bosses speak is random for each user. What you'll need to do is go back to each conversation and see what the first line of what the person that you are talking to is saying. Note the down for each of the 4 characters, and then visit the characters again, but in the order below, so that the person who speaks, "Why, certainly, little miss," must be visited first, "amazing" second, and so on. The responses must be visited in this order. It's got them. Can't get it to work? To delete your temporary internet files cookies, which will log you out of the Neopets, and try again. If you do it right, you will get an image of Gilly with a statement such as below, at the bottom of the last person you visit in the correct order. When you get the statement, go back to Nirvana and click on the road leading off the map from the porch behind the building with the arch as shown below. This will take you to the Spooky Shack. Theories are that this could belong to Sophie the Swan Witch, a younger likeness of whom we've already seen earlier in the plot. Remember, you must get the statement from Gilly at the bottom of the page of the 4th conversation in the right order to access the Spooky Shack. Next, move on to part 2. God damn it, what the No, this is nonsense. There's like 9 parts as well. What the frick? Neopets be wild. That's the kind of shit you need to do in Neopets. It's a kid's game. It's like a baby kids game. It's like primary school kids game. Like not even like high school kids game. It's like kid game. That's what was the word? Malarkey. That's what that is. It's malarkey. Part 2 has a section where you have to reference your URL to find out the coordinates of where to click on your screen. What the fuck is this shit? Did the people that made Neopets just want to do all this crazy... here's what it is. The people made Neopets, and then they got all these crazy ideas for different creative things they wanted to do in their games. And they're like, oh, but we only have Neopets. And they're like, well, we're not going to make a whole new game. All our ideas are here in Neopets. And let's just fucking add it to Neopets. Who cares if it's a kid's game? Let's do some weird shit in Neopets. And then I guess they just kept doing it. And it became known for it. Also, anytime I see someone say hand in hand, and there's like no indicator that you've even done something while you're doing it. Yeah, I thought that. Like when it's like it showed like, oh, click over here, and I'm like, okay, but does it make it obvious that you're like getting this stuff and doing it in the right order? And then you need to like fucking talk to people in the right order and shit. That stuff's bonkers. And it's random too, so it's not. So you need to talk to all the characters to figure out which is which, and then do it in the right order. It's nuts. No kid's gonna naturally figure that out. Like without I don't know how you'd have to have a guide to do that. But yeah, I was gonna say every time I see Hand in Hand, it makes me remember the Aquas song Hand in Hand, which used to be my favorite Love Live. Well, my favorite Aquas song for a long time was Hand in Hand. It's not anymore, but Hand in Hand is pretty fucking good. I can see the lingering sadness on their faces, and it makes me wonder if anything has really changed. If this is all just a distraction or not. But I think it's just me slipping back into being cynical because of the moment. It's a start. Oh, now are we Act 4? Yes, probably. Yeah. To my other self. We're in Act 4. Gonna change the stream title. There we go. Finally made it to Act 4. God damn it, that was a long Act 3. Only a day later, the weekend has already arrived. I drop a heavy stack of books on the librarian's desk, not meaning to slam them, but they weigh so much that it happens anyway. You're gonna freak Yuko out. Yuko bolts out of her chair with enough force to dislodge her glasses. She barely holds on to them. Oh, hi. Sorry, I'm here to return all those books I was supposed to. That's great, but I wish you had brought them back sooner. Wouldn't be a problem if the library had more copies of everything, but it doesn't. And they act like that's my fault. They? Other students. They can be, pretty pushy. Sorry, just kind of slipped my mind. It's been a pretty rough couple of days. Oh, I suppose you don't want to talk about it. Yuko meekly turns to the task of logging all the books I've brought back as returned, treating them with extreme care and precision, like she's a bomb disposal technician rather than a librarian. Over the past couple of days I've been thinking about something Misha said. Of course I'd thought about everything she said, but one thing in particular keeps coming back. She talked about how she didn't want to miss people or think about being apart from them anymore. When I recalled those words, they stopped me cold, like a sharp slap across the cheek. In just a few months, we'll be graduating. Misha and Shizune were nearly inseparable, but after graduation, they may never see each other again. I wonder if that thought is what started all of this. If Misha were to try and talk to Shizune about it, Shizune would likely think about it Shizune likely wouldn't think about it at all. It would sadden her, and for that reason, she would try and toss it away. For someone like Shizune, who is so quick to suppress her worries, it would be easy. Misha turned out to be more sensitive than she seems. It would have crushed her even more so because Shizune's reaction could come off as pretty cold. I don't know if that's how Shizune handled it, but it seems likely, and I can understand why she would act that way. I can also understand why Misha would be troubled by the thought of drifting away from someone who was such an important part of her. I'd never thought about graduation until that moment. Then I began to think things like, has it really only been less than a year? I started thinking of everyone I've met, not only Shizune and Misha, but everyone else. They were fond friends. Then I thought of losing them. What? Oh, then I thought of losing them. Suddenly, I could understand Misha's anxieties. It could be nice to talk to someone about it. Actually, I kinda want to. With whom? I can sense an obvious tinge of apprehension in her voice. With you. Ah, really? Are you sure? Why me? Look how cute she is! Ah! Yuko route where? Look at her. I wanna fuck Kenji's ex. Because you're an adult. And that's it? That's... Wincing, she fidgets a little in her seat, trying to get comfortable in a pretty uncomfortable looking way. I guess that means she's okay with it. Oh god, more Neopets. Part 5 has you randomly dig up coffins, and then it gives you a weight and a volume, and you have to calculate how much potion you have to apply to it. What the fuck? And there's zero indicator of how much you're meant to apply, even with the numbers. What the hell? What is this? Also, why are you digging up coffins? What a weird fucking game Neopets was. And I guess still is. It's not like it's still a thing, right? God damn. Is anyone streaming Neopets? Check out what the Neopets streamers do. No one is streaming Neopets browser at the moment. Very unfortunate. The Neopets fandom is dying, guys. I don't know if they still do this stuff after it got sold to whatever big company it was. Nexon, I think it was actually. Oh, Nexon bought Neopets? Did they? Oh, Viacom purchased Neopets in 2005 for 160 million and announced to focus more on the use of banner ads. Website was redesigned in 2007. In June, Viacom promoted it for Nickelodeon, yada yada yada. The first Outer Cup was released as an international online gaming event to coincide with the FIFA World Cup. On July 17, the NC Mall was launched in partnership with Korean gaming company Nexon Corporation. It allowed users to use real money to purchase Neocash to buy exclusive virtual items. And there's a second... Yeah, that's the only mention of Nexon on the Neopets page. But apparently Viacom owned it. But then Jumpstart Games bought it. Acquired it from Viacom in 2014. So apparently Jumpstart... No, Torrent Space... Yeah, Jumpstart Games owns it now. Oh no, sorry, it's sold again? What? Immediately characterized by glitches. 2015... The remaining Viacom team was laid off. On July 3rd, 2017, Chinese company NetDragon acquired Jumpstart Games. Oh, okay. So Jumpstart bought it, and then all of Jumpstart was acquired by NetDragon. So NetDragon owns it now. But yeah, it was created by a British guy, bought by Viacom, and then Jumpstart bought it, and then got bought their entire company got bought by NetDragon. Nexon just helped do part collab of... They just helped them bring in money. They helped them bring in microtransactions, basically. Classic Nexon. Classic Nexon. Hey, we're a Korean company that works in Japan because we want to avoid the Korean gaming pay laws. Classic. Classic Nexon. Although they are good at it, Nexon's the only bastards that have got me to spend money on microtransactions in a game. I'd never done it before. I had never done it before Nexon did it. Nexon did it to me, and then the game got shut down, even though I had spent money on it. The bastards. Also, we were just talking before about how secret routes are kind of common, like routes where you need to do weird specific things to get them to activate. Sometimes there's a sometimes it's a normal route, but sometimes it's also, well, it's more common for it to be the secret route, but there's usually like a fucked up route. Like a route that's really weird, is with, maybe it's with a character you wouldn't expect, or there's just weird stuff that happens in it, or the just relationship in nature is fucked up, like maybe it's, I don't know, a robot or some shit. Yuko could totally be that route. A secret route where you need to do specific things in order to activate Yuko, and then... Oh god. The frames... Okay, they're back. You need to get with Yuko, and then, like, because she's, like, an adult and a staff member, it's, like, a secret relationship, and there's, like... What if we're found out, and it's all messed up, and it's, like... That could be it. Give me the, like, kind of fucked up Yuko route. Maybe the bad end can be she goes to prison at the end for being with a student. Give us the Yuko route. When did this game come out? I don't know, like 8 years ago? Give us the 8-year late DLC Yuko route. And give us the Akira route as well for Reimu. I know he wanted that. Yuko is Kenji's girl, my dude. It used to be Kenji's girl, my dude. Nobody messes with Kenji God. I am not messing with Kenji God. I'm messing with his succubus ex-girlfriend, who's really fucking cute. Wincing, she fidgets a little in her seat, trying to get comfortable in a pretty... Alright. Dude, what if they did... Oh my god, better. How to make it really even more fucked up? She's actually a succubus, and Kenji was right. What if they did that? Dude, I should write this game. Actually, everyone wrote different routes. Sign me on. I'll ride the Yuko route. Actually, visual novels are easy to fucking mod. I'll just make a fucking Yuko route. I'll make it myself. I'll download a VN Visual Novel Maker. I'll buy VN Maker. Is it hard being an adult? Yes. The crying. I don't think I'm that old though. It's surprising that students now. Oh, is that meant to be L? Like Shizune and you wear stuff like perfumes or cologne. I never did. I still don't use them. By the way, you're not wearing your grape cologne today. Yeah, it wasn't working out for me. Oh, that's good. I thought the same thing. Sorry. Massive brain. Yuko looks genuinely sorry, and I feel a pang of guilt. I smile, despite myself. A tiny lie like that can come back to bite me in the butt. Misha, trying to conceal how she felt in order to put on a happy face for Shizune for so long, must have been crushing. Someone I know brought up that we're going to be graduating, and I realized that I've never thought about it before. I feel stupid that I could go so long and never think about these things. I've met a lot of great people, and I've never thought about what it's going to be like to graduate and maybe never see them again. There are still ways you could keep in touch. Yeah, I guess. I feel childish. I know everyone is going through the same thing, probably. I bet you hear this kind of problem a lot. No, I haven't been working here that long. It's so funny when, like, back in school, teachers would always talk about, you may never see these people again. And it's like, sure, maybe I'll never see, like, Montana Mazzagetti again. Or I'll never see, like, random fucking students that I talked to a few times. Like, just people I've known for years. I only bring Montana up because she was, like, the only person at SFX that I also knew from my primary school. But it's like, all these people, sure, I may never see them again after thing, but you say the people that are your friends, you're never gonna see again. That's how, like, the teachers talked about it, and it's like, bro, I still hang out and regularly talk with anyone I fucking cared about in high school. I don't care that I'm never gonna see those people again. Is that what you meant? Because they always made it seem like it was like, even the people you're good friends with, you're never gonna see again. And I'm like, I don't see how that could happen. At first, I thought it was like an old people thing. I'm like, sure, maybe back in your day, but nowadays it's very easy to stay in contact with people even if you never see them. Like, I thought it was an old people thing. But even my mom is still friends with people she's known since, like, prep. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe our teachers just had no fucking friends in their life. I don't know. No, I haven't been working here that long. I worried about the same thing when I graduated from high school. I didn't go to school here though. I also miss my friends, and I wish I had kept in touch with them better. I should have tried harder. It's not that hard. Yugo isn't really helping me feel better, and she clams up quickly when she sees it on my face. I don't want to look back and have those same regrets. I wonder if Shizune even thinks about this kind of stuff, because she goes on sometimes about how she doesn't want to live with any regrets. Wow, that sounds impossible to me. I nod, only halfway wanting to agree. Even so, I think that is kind of admirable too, kind of brave, don't you think so? Brave is a new way to put it. Yuko shakes her head insistently. It's true though, and also kind of intimidating. Jeez, you shouldn't be intimidated by high schoolers. I'll try. She turns away and starts folding a sticky note over and over. Pretty idle behavior for a university student. But more importantly, I wonder if I said the wrong thing to her. Being around Shizune for so long, I can't stop reading as much as I can into every moment of silence. If Yuko were the type of person who didn't get intimidated by high schoolers, it probably wouldn't be so easy to talk to her. It's all too easy to want to shed some negative quality of yours. When I think of everyone I know, it's those qualities that I like the best. I don't think I really regret it. I thought, as long as I could remember the good times, that was enough. I don't know, sorry. This reminds me of, Xenoblade. The heart-to-heart yesterday we had with, between Fiora and Shulk at Prison Island. Where Fiora's like, you know, like, oh... like, yeah, you can hate Dixon now, and you gotta do what you gotta do, but I think you should remember the good memories as well. And the bad ones, and, like... Those are real, and they happened. You can't just ignore them because... it turns out he was always doing horrible... he was, you know, all of this was for some grander, horrible scheme. But those are still real memories, and they happened, so you should remember the good, and combined with these new bad ones, even if you have to kill him. The way she's talking just reminded me of that, the way she's like, yeah, but I don't regret it, I still have the memories. I noticed a couple students starting to trickle into the library and decide that my time is up. No, that was helpful. I feel like two of my friends are fighting because one of them has taken the fact that we might not see each other again after graduation really hard, and the other is probably being stoic about it, which only makes it worse. I don't get how I'm supposed to handle this kind of situation. It doesn't seem like the kind of problem where I'll have to end up taking a side. But it could turn out that way, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do. You should tell them they shouldn't fight. I know, fighting is bad. It's not Shizune and Misha, by the way. Okay, I wasn't really thinking that though. How embarrassing. Even though I knew it would be, I still feel my cheeks redden. And even so, I still said something so transparent and blatantly a lie, but it could be that sometimes that is the right way. you have any books about people who need to make hard decisions? We have a lot of self-help books there. It's funny that I can find that surprising because I wouldn't. It's funny that I can find that surprising because I wouldn't have only a few months ago. I meant about, not for. There aren't many, right? Yes, not many. I mean, I feel a bit apprehensive about it. I want to talk to Shizune. I don't understand why I feel nervous about it, and that disgusts me a little. It also motivates me to look for her, right then and there. Although I don't have to look very hard, she's in the student council room, as always. Actually, before we go on with this, I really need to go to the toilets, my dudes. So I will be back. Whoa. Okay, to send a big Neopets message. We will discuss that when I get back. Yeah, okay, I'll be back. Is this music good enough to leave? Sure. It's pretty good music. We'll leave this. I won't go to YouTube this time. I'll be back shortly. Hello everybody, I'm back from the short break. Sorry that took so long. I just really had to go to the toilet. So really feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Okay, now we have messages from Toast. For the viewers that don't know what this is about, Toast has been sending me messages about the absurd level of things you have to do in order to unlock shit in Neopets. So he sent me even more things. Step 78. Head to any of the free shops in Altador, Illustrations, Armory, Exquisite Ambrosio, or Magical Marvels. The Neo points you have on hand should be equal to exactly 100 times the current inflation rate. For instance, if the inflation rate is 4.52, you should bring 452 MP with you. You have to deposit all the other money in the bank. You should then visit every shop in turn until you see an item with a scale figure Libra on it. Click on that particular item. Remember that each shop has a different inflation rate. Neopets event reading stream after. No. Event reading stream? Probably not. This too, 90. Ignore the doors on the right hand wall for now and focus on those along the top. Click the door on the left of the top wall 3 times and then the small door to the right of it. What the fuck? So it says ignore the doors on the right hand wall for now. So they're gonna come into play later. Oh, sorry, I had to. Something in my mouth, or like caught in my throat. What the hell? What the fuck? It's like an injury? How did that happen? Feels weird. I don't like it. Whatever. Okay, let's continue now. Worryingly, Misha isn't with her. When Shizune notices me and looks up from her paperwork, the first thing I ask is where she is. I don't know. There's too much uncertainty in her answer that I can't let it go just like that. She's missing a lot of school. Are you the attendance police? No, but you usually are, Shizune. That's really strange coming from the student council president. Shizune hides a laugh behind a cupped hand, and I start to think that I might be worrying for nothing. Then her laughter slowly fades away to a more serious and pensive expression. You're right. Yesterday. I catch the hint of a knowing smile on her face when she sees my poorly hidden panic at the word. Despite her best efforts, she can't help being satisfied in eliciting surprise from everyone else to the very end. Even then, I see that she has bigger concerns from how quickly her smile vanishes. Before either of you noticed me, I saw what you were saying. I'm not stupid. If I hadn't, I could still see through Misha while we were talking back. Even if she hadn't told me everything later, she didn't make a big deal out of it. But anyway, you look at it, it's my fault, isn't it? When did she tell you? Shizune winces at the question, though it's clear she's been expecting it. She follows it up with a very grand gesture. Wait, what? Oh, what did she tell you? Not when. A lot. Like that I can be selfish and confusing. I try too hard to bring people around me, and then push them away. I didn't know what I should do. I thought she was right to mention all of these things, so I just agreed with her, but that only made things worse. I don't understand. Adjusting her glasses, she looks pretty tired. I hope it isn't because she's been busy avoiding Misha, but I can't help considering the possibility, seeing where the conversation is going. It's true, even the student council being this small and us always being swamped with work, it's my fault. It might have even ended up driving a lot of people off and away from the student council, acting like that. Shizune wags her finger mischievously, acknowledging that might is an understatement. However, from how wearingly she does it, it's obvious the humor is only to put me at ease, and therefore not genuine. Like Lily, for instance. She was the first person to join when I started trying to recruit people again after everyone else left, because they couldn't stand me, I guess. We managed to put together the last festival and even ran a booth together at the last minute. But I didn't like her because I thought she was selfish, always holding us up in order to tend to one friend of hers or another, and leaving Misha and me alone to sort out things involving the whole school by ourselves. If there was any problem she was going through, she would leave us high and dry while she panicked over it and wouldn't come back until it was solved. She would focus on it 100% and be too preoccupied to focus on any student council work. That was the worst, to me. Then she could be so nice and take so many people for granted. Why even join the student council then? It seemed so short-sighted and selfish, don't you think? But it's actually me who's that way. Like Misha said, always trying to pull people close to me and then shutting them out. That is how I've treated her, which makes me a bad friend, and it feels like I did the same thing to you then. So I guess I'm a bad girlfriend too, even if Misha says that you might as well replace her. I'm angry that I screwed things up enough for her to get, I screwed things up enough for it to get this out of hand. All I wanted was to... She pauses to look for the right words, tenting her fingers in concentration. Make people happy, I think. Even though this seems like a simple way to put it, as she rests her hands against her head, Shizune's bangs fold delicately across her eyes, hidden behind those polished glasses reflecting just the tiniest bit of light. It may be wrong to think so, but right now she seems especially beautiful, like a more complete person. It feels like this is my first chance to respond to her outpouring of emotions. Replacing Misha as Shizune's interpreter, Misha must be joking. It took all my energy to keep up with her just now, her signing filled with gestures that I've never seen before. Likely their habits picked up from Misha and developed from years of them being together. I could never replace someone so close to her. I like you because I like you, not because I got tricked into it by you. Despite how hard she tried anyway... Oh. I could... Ah, my throat. Despite how hard she tried anyway, I continued to stare back into her eyes, as sharp as ever. The first time I saw them, they had seemed a bit intimidating to me, like the eyes of a predator. That hasn't changed, which I find reassuring. Streamer dies! Stop that. I didn't. There was just like a phlegm buildup or something at the back of my throat. It made everything sound muffled. I still want to make everyone happy, but now it's more clear. Starting with Misha. Starting with Misha? Question. Shizune looks a bit annoyed that I would imply she would start with anyone else, and smiles confidently, as though a friend's sadness is a physical opponent she can just strangle into submission. Of course, obviously, naturally. Taking off her glasses, she leans back in her chair and lets out a sigh. It's the first time I've seen her without them on, but I don't... Oh, wow, yeah, the Sprite has them off too, what the hell? It's the first time I've seen her without them on, but I don't get a good look before she slips them back on. I'm too tired to start today. First thing tomorrow. Do you want to help? Yeah. And I have other student council stuff you could help me with while you're at it. Although it turns out that there isn't much other work at all. Give me a sec. faint background music. Yeah, that's the problem. My brother's playing really loud music from his room. And not only is it obviously a copyrighted song, but it's got the N-word in it. So if that's clearly picked up, I'm gonna be in trouble. So I'm just worried about it. Whatever. Looks like it's packing to leave soon, so hopefully it just stops and it doesn't cause a problem. There's no school today, so I expected to be able to sleep in late. Unfortunately, I'm awakened by someone mercilessly pounding on my door at 8 in the morning. At first, I thought it could be Kenji, but when my shouts of annoyance go unanswered, I realize it's Shizune. She immediately backs away from the door when I open it, quickly concealing something behind her back. Kind of ominous. Let's turn up the music a little bit, the actual in-game audio a little, to try and drown that out. What's that? Is it a surprise? I don't really like surprises. The displeased expression on her face says that she wants me to stop being such a wet blanket, but she's too busy fumbling with what's behind her back to sign it. Alright. It must be frustrating for her, because seconds later, she swings the object out proudly and also a little dangerously. Ta-da! Picnic basket. We can have lunch together. The three of us. It's not really a basket, it looks more like a plastic bag. Taking a quick look inside, I can see that most of the food inside is also store-bought, not homemade. Some items still have the price stickers on. It's a very diverse selection here, though. Even a tiny tin of caviar. Whoa, what the hell? I'm slowly becoming more impressed with this lunch. I pick a grape out of there and pop it in my mouth. See, this is making Hisao very unrelatable. Grapes fucking suck. I don't get why, like, everyone loves grapes. Everyone's all about grapes. Whenever there's grapes, people are always just, yeah, I can just pick a grape and eat it. And people love grapes, and everyone seems to be fine and happy to just eat grapes. Like, there's no problem. I hate grapes. They fucking suck. They got a horrible taste. They got a disgusting texture. They're weird. They freak me out. I don't want to eat grapes. I don't want to be near grapes. I don't want to touch grapes. But everyone seems to fucking love grapes. I remember so many times in school, we'd be at like athletics festival or sports festival. People, why am I calling it? It was called a festival, even at our school. Fuck, anime's fucked me up. I'm like, why am I calling it festival? That's a Japanese thing. And then I'm like, oh no, wait, it's also that here. Whatever. People would fucking open up their containers and they're like, oh, share food with people, but it's just a bunch of fucking grapes. And I'm like, I hate grapes. And then people are like, whoa, you hate grapes? What's wrong with you? I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with the world? Why does everyone love grapes? Fuck grapes. I like real fruit. Expensive, proper fruit. Like strawberries. That's the real shit. And you won't actually find anyone who hates strawberries. That's the real shit. It's just more expensive than grapes, so people settle for grapes. Fuck grapes. Go big or go home. This is right. Yeah. Fuck you, Hisao, eating grapes. Don't just take things out like that. I spent all night perfecting this final weapon. Weapon? Shizune places it down on the ground to free up her hands, and immediately starts playfully tapping it between her feet like a soccer ball. Definitely not what you should do to anything you're gonna call a final weapon. All part of my get Misha to stop being so depressed plan. I stayed up all last night working on it. When we tried to order in last time, Misha briefly... Misha barely got anything and used it as an excuse to leave early. I wouldn't let her get off so easily this time. The food is already here, she'll have to sit down and eat with us. It's the perfect bait. Doesn't everything look irresistible? I tried to make it myself, and I don't know how to make it look all fancy, so I ended up buying everything. Still looks delicious, doesn't it? It should be. It's very perky today, juiced up on the thought of cheering Misha up. Although it's odd to see her so happy about it, I know that she's just as unsure as she was yesterday. The only thing that has changed is that by viewing it as another sort of challenge for herself, she can put her worries aside and throw herself into it recklessly. It has worked well enough for Shizune so far. It wouldn't surprise me if it's the only way she knows how to live. It's a little early though. It's already 8 in the morning. That's late. Even Misha gets up at 8 or 9. She goes to bed at 7 PM, but that isn't important. 7 PM? 7 PM? You can't go to sleep at 7. No, even the most early sleepers don't go to bed at 7. Toast goes to bed early, but he goes to bed at like, what, 10? Right, Toast? 10 or something? No one goes to sleep at fucking 7. 7. 7. And then wait, what? Even Misha gets up at 8 or 9. She goes to bed at 7. That isn't important. She's sleeping way too much. What do you mean, even Misha? She's going to sleep at 7, but getting up at 8 and 9? That's over 12 hours. That's a very unhealthy amount of sleep. It's unhealthy is what it is. Oversleeping is more unhealthy than undersleeping. By the same degrees. So, like, oversleeping for an hour is more unhealthy than undersleeping for an hour, basically. Sleeping for, like, 12 hours? You're gonna get fucking cancer. Your blood's gonna become pure iron, and you're gonna die. What the fuck? What is wrong with Misha? You can't sleep that much? I go to sleep at, like, anywhere from 10 to like 2 or 3 if I'm sleeping well. Look, when I go to sleep is very inconsistent. And when I wake up, it's usually like 7 to 10-ish. Today I woke up at 10. Yesterday I woke up at 8. Day before I woke up at 8. Day before I woke up at 7. Day before I woke up at 7. So it's like 7 to 10-ish. I'll never wake up pre-7, really. If I do, then I won't be able to get back to sleep and it'll fuck me up. Which does happen sometimes, but it's whatever. It's already... Also, 8 in the morning isn't really late. It's like... 8's a pretty normal time to wake up. I guess they're school students, so they're probably waking up at like 5 or 6 or some shit to get to class in time. Because school starts too early, and studies have shown that school starting as early as it does literally hampers the ability for kids to learn, which just proves that the school system isn't about teaching kid things, it's about teaching them how to fucking get in line and act like the little bitches that they should. Everyone wear the same uniform, learn how to handwrite the same way, everybody do the same shit, because schools were built on the idea of training kids for the military, and they're outdated fucking shit. It's very important. This, not the school. Shizune ignores me, gagging my hands by taking them in hers instead of a more proper rebuttal. The way she lingers against me for a moment longer than expected really feels comforting. The point is, she's awake right now, walking around somewhere. Let's go find her. She sprints out the door impatiently, and her gusto as she drags me along, looking for Misha, makes me feel more like I'm following a hunter on a safari than looking for a mutual friend. We don't have to look very hard. Even cropped short, her pink hair stands out. The fact that she's just meandering around the grounds out in the open makes it even easier. Now I'm sounding like a safari hunter. Misha. Huh? We were just looking for you. It's a good day for a picnic. You should join us. We have caviar, not sturgeon, of course, but really tasty. Caviar? Sturgeon? Apparently finding it annoying to have to explain everything at length with only one hand, Shizune gives up quickly. Fish eggs. What? Tastes good. Sorry, Shik-chan, I think I'll pass for today. When Misha starts to walk away, Shizune holds the bag out toward me, needing me to take it so that her hands can be free. As soon as it's out of her hand, she darts in front of Misha, cutting her off. I made so much food, though. Sorry, I'm just not hungry right now. When are you gonna be hungry, then? Shik-chan, that's impossible to know. You can guess. The tension between them infuriates Shizune, and she's trying to deal with it by trying to tear through it. But that approach isn't gonna work. I'd thought and hoped that Misha had gotten herself together, but I guess she was just cut too deep by what happened. In that case, it's really out of anyone's hand. I believe that Shizune might understand that on some level. If she doesn't, she wouldn't have any doubts at all. Because she can't speak, though, I've learned to notice her hesitation. It's very clear. She might as well be screaming. Misha waves her hand in front of her, not wanting to continue the discussion any further, and quickly slips away. Shizune fumes silently, reluctant to let her go, but having no way to keep her here. Oop, I accidentally cut off. As Misha's back grows smaller in the distance, I wonder where she's heading off to. Is Shizune wondering the same thing as she bites her lip in frustration? I want to touch her reassuringly on the shoulder, but I stop myself, not knowing if it's the right thing to do. Not because she looks fragile, vulnerable, or sad. It's the opposite. After a while, her expression belies no emotion at all, only contemplation. Suddenly, she whirls around. And all this food is going to go to waste. What? Oh, now. Yeah. That makes me mad. Well, it's obvious Shizune is more hurt than mad. The bag dangles from... What? Oh, the bag dangling from my hand feels like it's filled with lead. Let's go on a date. Let's use it then. Where do you want to go? I don't know. The roof? It's my favorite spot. A wry smile appears on her face, disappearing just as quickly. On the roof, I immediately crack open the caviar, ignoring a derisive look from Shizune all the while. I end up putting it down immediately. Where are the toast... What? Where are the toast points? Toast points! Toast! The toast points! Toast points. Can you imagine? Where are the toast points? Toast Soul fucking just comes up onto the roof. Did somebody call? And everyone just acts like they know him and he's been a part of the story the whole time. Oh, there you are. I didn't make any. Like I told you, I bought her... What are toast points? What? Toast points. Oh, they're like pointy bits of toast? They're like toasted breads in triangles. Wow. Fair enough then. If I ever do a cooking stream, someone remind me to make toast points. Not toast points, though. I just made an entirely new Neopets account to read an event walkthrough. Why? What? What are you doing? Why do you... Wait, what? Why do you need an account to read it? I could read it without an account. Why is that important? Anyway, they don't sell just toast points. That would be stupid. I bet they do. Maybe in stores for the exceptionally lazy, but not here. Why don't you use a tortilla chip? Tortilla chip is not the same, it's really not. They're both triangles. Stop being such a princess. I didn't know there was a proper way to eat caviar. This is the first time hearing of it. This is a different one? Fair enough. You can have caviar on things other than toast points. What is this? Why are they getting so picky about it? It's not the same thing at all. I can't be decadent like this. And anyway, how can she not know? She lives in a huge mansion. Shizune takes the opportunity to scoop half the tin onto a single chip in the meantime. There's a different one that was so long that no one has bothered to write the solution down on an outsider website. Fair enough. I guess there is a limited number of people that care about it on an outside website. Hey, I'm sure it doesn't even taste good like that. There's too much food here for 2 people. Because we can't communicate with each other while we eat, both Shizune and I have a lot of time to sit in silence and think about the fact that Misha, the person she set all this out for, isn't here. It's annoying that she isn't here. I can't even enjoy my meal like this. Stare at the paper cup next to her, still half full of juice. Thought you didn't want all this food to go to waste. I wanted Misha to be here too. That was the whole point. I wasn't able to accomplish what I wanted to, so it doesn't taste good. You should eat it. Eat more. I want the fried things though. You keep eating them all, even though you say they don't taste good. Fried things are always delicious. There is always an exception for them. You'll get fat. I think you're being too aggressive. It's like I told you yesterday. I'm only trying to cheer her up. Yeah, but it seems like you're planning a military campaign. I'm only trying to take it seriously. This is the only way I know how to do it seriously. I feel so powerless. I hate it. I can't even yell at her, too, even though I want to. Yelling is for serious occasions, right? Yeah. You should yell at Misha for me. You can tell her that I want her to stop being so down. Even if she feels sad and alone, it's no reason to stay gloomy forever. Why don't you? I already did. Over a game of dice. Over to be exact. I won. 5 times. Only the 2 of them would take so much pride in winning games of pure chance. Then I tried to talk to her, but it didn't go so well, obviously. Well, so did I. I tried and failed. My goal has always been to do everything better, though. Yeah, your one-upsmanship is really something. But I failed too. That's why I want your help. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do anymore. For someone like Shizune, she has only ever interacted with the world by locking horns and every obstacle in her path. Understanding only goes so far. I want to tell her that she doesn't have to worry, that she's great at cheering people up, because she managed to cheer me up my first week here. In retrospect, I might have looked at, what? I must have looked like a dick, being in such a sour mood from the moment I came here. Even though I don't think I was being unreasonable. Even having months to digest it, finding out that you have a heart defect like I did is hard to deal with. I'd had much less time to mull over, suddenly being transferred to Yamaku on top of that. Spending the festival with Shizune really helped me out of a rut. I was happy, enough to forget that the entire time it had felt as though she were manipulating me. I understand now that I had allowed myself to be manipulated. Even though I felt like I was at the bottom of the world, I still wanted to have a normal life again. I'm sure, because I enjoyed what I have now, I think it must be the same for everyone, including Misha. Everyone wants someone there to pull them up out of their self-pity. It's just that Misha always wanted Shizune to be that person, but because they can't be together, I think Misha feels that she can't accept Shizune's hand. And that frustrates Shizune, because if she could cheer up a stranger like me, then she'll die trying with Misha. I can see it in her eyes too. If she tries to treat it like any other problem in her life, Shizune cannot do that with Misha's depression. Her thought processes are entirely different. In some ways more careful, in some ways more reckless and frenetic. She cares that much more. I end up not saying anything, partly because sitting next to her like this, just the 2 of us, is pleasant enough in itself, and I don't want to interrupt the moment with a question. And partly for a more cowardly reason. I've started to think they weren't. But I don't know if her actions that day might not have been an afterthought, or even a fluke. Just a collection of coincidences. I don't know if that would change anything, but I'm uncomfortable thinking about it. The fence behind me trembles slightly, and I turn to see that it's because Shizune has fallen asleep, leaning against it. Considering she was up all night, it's not surprising. Hang on. I want to make a note of something. The fence behind me trembles slightly, and I turn to see that it's because Shizune has fallen asleep, leaning against it. Considering she was up all night, it's not surprising. Where does all that motivation come from? Not just in regards to Misha. I'm cynical, so it's hard for me to just accept that anyone can simply be that strong. I first thought that maybe it's because she hates herself. It's very plausible. Leaning against her, I feel sad knowing that that might be the case. But it could be that we're similar and that we both want to be better people. Seems like I ate too much yesterday because I wake up in the morning feeling just nauseous enough for it to be a problem. I really can't postpone going into town for shopping though, so despite wanting to roll over and sleep it away, I fought myself to get up and dress instead. Somewhere between buying toothpaste and a few other groceries, I end up walking it off, then I feel hungry. After stopping for breakfast, it hits me how much time has gone by. I hadn't expected it to be out this long at all. I'm not even sure if I bothered to lock my door. I should really get back. When I get back to the dorm, I see Hideaki standing in front of my room from the entrance. I can think of a few things more unexpected, and I can't help thinking I might have a heart attack just from the surprise. Fortunately, it doesn't happen. As soon as he sees me, he says hello in his usual detached way. I'm a little slow to reply to him, so he repeats the greeting without missing a beat. Without skipping a beat. Is something wrong? I'm just surprised to see you here. Not as surprised as I could have been, since it's impossible to mistake him for anyone else. I recognize those weird clothes anywhere. Come to think of it, I'm really surrounded myself with distinctive-looking people lately. Because it's an anime, everyone needs to look distinctive. Candy-colored hair all around. Hideaki's head lolls slightly to one side, a little too easily. Why, is it unusual to see someone's family come to see them? Well, yeah, actually. So Hideaki isn't such a robot after all. In fact, it's almost as if he's more caught off guard by the fact that he even can be caught off guard, but he recovers quickly. Nevertheless, in that brief moment, he looks his age. That uncomfortable side of his seems like the most honest, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of it. Not so much, though, that I'd go out of my way to pry. Only Shizune would be that zealous. Then my thoughts get so far... What? Oh, that my thoughts get so far is proof she's rubbing off on me. I think they'd have a reason, that's all. There is one. See? Anyway, we can talk while we're looking for her. That's why you're here, right? Shouldn't is in the student council room. I was looking for you. You might take a trip soon, a family trip. Do you think she would want to come with us? Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of been on the warpath lately with a lot of stuff. And once she's focused on something, she won't just drop it. I guess you would know that. Hideaki looks much more at ease walking around than I did my first week. So this isn't your first time here? Just throwing it out there. Of course, completely ignoring the surrounding environment could just run in the family. It explained why Hideaki seems so distant from Shizune. I get the feeling that there's more to it than just her deafness. No, but this is the first time I could walk around so much. It is kind of weird here. I bumped into a person who told me women are not allowed in the dorms. Oh, it was Kenji. After I told him I am not a woman, he told me I was misleading, and then accused me of being an assassin. I was warned that he was not only invincible, but strong enough to probably destroy the building with a punch, or at least knock over the painting hanging in the hallway. By the way, that painting is actually screwed to the wall. Yeah, that's the guy across the hall from me. He's okay. I see. Oh, you left your door open. It was unlocked when I came in. I'm a little annoyed that Hideaki knows that. The only way he could is if he had opened my door, but the feeling passes. Kenji guard. Yeah, dude, he's gonna knock down a painting from a wall that was screwed on. Whew, that was some dropped frames. It doesn't matter. I have nothing to hide or steal. Your soccer ball is really nice. It's one of the things that doesn't matter. If you're a soccer player, a soccer ball is important. It's very important. I guess it is. The thought makes me smile. Maybe because my father bought a new phone and he wanted to update Shizune in case she needs to call him. I thought that you should know too, since you're her boyfriend, aren't you? Yeah. Why? Just in case there's something wrong or she needs anything. Is that what it isn't what I meant, but I'll go along. Even if she does, she probably wouldn't call. That is how she is. Well, if you know coming all the way here for that, though, you could have updated her via email. He does not like using emails. It's so old-fashioned. Don't tell me he still does business for regular mail or something. Silence. Now it's my turn to feel awkward. Is Hideaki taking it literally, or did I hit the mark? Nah, I'm sure that what it really comes down to is that he does want to see his daughter and stay in contact with her. In the end, they're still family after all, even though they play at being each other's throats. Oh god, he's here. Oh no, he's here. He's fucking here. He's fucking here. Ah! I hate toilets. I hate him. I hate him, man. I hate reading his fucking dialogue. It doesn't flow well. I'm taking a break. I'll be back in a bit. God damn it. I need to, like, wash my face or something. I'm feeling tired. Fuck that guy. Oh, hey, Doing the Grass, you're here. I saw that you followed, like, yesterday at 3 AM for me. We can get rid of that. We're not gonna keep that up there, but fuck that guy for real. How you doing? How is everyone doing? Oh, Ray, I didn't know you were still here, Ray Mood. You epic prime gamer. Doing the Grass is also a prime gamer. Also, can we talk about how dumb it is that they changed it to Prime Gaming instead of just Twitch Prime? I am lurking. Eyeball emoji. Well, that's all good then. But yeah, I just thought you had left because you were talking earlier, but then, yeah, look. The door to the student council room is open, and Hideki and I walk in on Jigoro and Mindran. He sees us, but decides that it's not something worth stopping rambling at Shizune over. This is really shaking my faith in my previous assumption. My brain... Seems like they're trying to rebrand it to something like Prime Video. Primarily listening to Destiny, though. My brain hurts from reading Neopets puzzles. The two situations of these people in chat right now. They're trying to rebrand it into something like Prime Video. I mean, it's a subscription service, so they can rebrand it into whatever they damn well want, but that's just weird. There's nothing wrong with calling it... Oh, well, I guess, right, because Amazon owns it, so... Amazon owns Twitch. So it's like... Prime, but then gaming? I don't get it. Are they gonna add something else to it? Twitch Prime is like, yeah, it's the Prime service for Twitch. I don't see why that needs to change. It's like when they fucking made... whatever. I'm not gonna talk about Amazon. Oh, actually, speaking of Amazon... and their subscription services. Do you remember when they made their anime section of Prime Video different? Sounds better, I guess. I don't know. It's just a weird choice, because Twitch Prime doesn't... There's nothing wrong with it being Twitch Prime. It's like, yeah, the Prime version of Twitch. Now it's Prime Gaming. Like, what? The people that don't stream don't... Like, yeah, they probably game, but they're not using Twitch to game. They're using it to watch people game. Also, just chatting is the most popular category, so... Is it really gaming? They give out gaming stuff too. Yeah, that's true, actually, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to expand it, I guess. But it's still all connected to Twitch, so I don't see the problem with it, but whatever. No, but speaking of Amazon subscription service, do you remember when they made their anime a separate part of Prime Video? And you had to, like, pay separately to get it, or, like, more to get it? And it was called, like, Anime Strike or something, and then eventually it wasn't making as much as I guess they hoped, so they just stopped making it its own thing, and they put all their anime back into normal Prime Video, and they just stopped buying up anime, except in Japan. In Japan, Amazon still buys the rights to air anime on their Prime Video service. But it's also not its own thing, because in Japan, anime is just animated TV. It's not seen as much as its own thing. I don't remember that, what the fuck. I do remember the Crunchyroll marathons, that's it. No, I'm not talking about on Twitch. I'm just talking about the Amazon Prime Video made an Amazon Anime Strike, and it was its own service that you had to pay, like, separately for. You had to pay for Prime Video, and then pay even more to get Anime Strike. It was retarded. Oh, I have no idea that, and I remember certain channels made you subscribe for 1080p. You know, the Crunchyroll Marathon things are cool, but, like, Amazon, like, had their own service. That was Amazon Strike. separate from like Funimation and Crunchyroll, and they would be buying up shows. Like they got recreators, they got a bunch of different stuff back then, and then they stopped it because it wasn't making as much money as they hoped, or not being as successful as they hoped, I guess. And so now they only buy anime rights in Japan, or at least they were. But just this season, they've decided to bring back an anime-exclusive version of Prime Video, but not in America, because it failed in America. So instead, Amazon is trying it in fucking Germany for some reason. I don't know why, but the Germany anime market is booming right now. It's like crazy. So Amazon starts Aniverse. That's what it's called. Aniverse is their German exclusive anime streaming service. And so now they get the rights for show in Japan, and then the rights for shows in Germany only. And it's really weird. But wait, there's more. Like I said, the Germany market is booming, and let me tell you why. Because it's not just because Amazon's getting in on the Germany anime market. No, my friends. It is also because a few years ago, right? So, first of all, background. If you don't know legal streaming services, there's the two big American ones, Funimation and Crunchyroll, that used to be together but parted. Then there's the Australia Oceanic one, Anime Lab, and there's the European one, Wakanim. Funimation, Wakanim, and Anime Lab, which is Madman in Australia, got bought up by Sony. And Sony owns Aniplex. So Aniplex, Anime Lab, Funimation, and Wakanim are now all under Sony. They are trying to monopolize the entire fucking anime industry in the world. Anyway, so that means that all these three are basically the same thing. Wakanim covers French-speaking Europe, German-speaking Europe, Russia, and the Nordic countries. That's Wakanim's base range. Then, a few years ago, Germany, a new service popped up that's just for Germany, which is called Anime On Demand. A new one pops up for just Italy called, like a VVVVVid, and I think there was like another one that was somewhere. Maybe it was France or Spain or something. Actually, I think Spain still has its specific one. Anyway, the point is that Wakanim, being the biggest streaming service, being the Funimation or the Anime Lab of Europe, being owned by Sony, meant that it kind of crushed out like VVVid and the other ones that were popping up in just one European country, but not Anime On Demand. So Anime On Demand, the German one, is able to survive despite Wakanim. Wakanim is able to survive within Germany and other countries. Amazon thinks it's viable to invest in just a streaming service for Germany, despite that same idea failing in America. Crunchyroll, unable to get the rights to Love Live, decided to get the rights to Love Live in just Germany. Crunchyroll, the American company, picked to pay for the rights for Love Live in just one country, that being Germany, because they think it's big enough and worth it. And, like I said, you know, that Anime On Demand, it's still working there. So, what the fuck is with the booming anime industry in Germany? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, oh, any other European country crushed by the power of Wakanim and Sony. But not Germany. And also Amazon. And also Crunchyroll thinks it's viable enough to spend money on just there. Germans are weebs? I mean, I know a German weeb, but he only watches English dubs. What's up with that? I know a German weeb online. But yeah, he only watches English dubs, which is kind of weird, but... I mean, he watches everything illegally anyway, but you can get English dubs on Wakanim, even though it's for French, Germany, Russia, and Nordic countries. Because it's owned by Sony, who owns Funimation, who owns Anime Lab, who owns Aniplex. Seriously, if Crunchyroll goes under, we're fucked. Sony's gonna just own anime. It's crazy. Anyway, moving on. Oh god, Jagoro dialogue, kill me now. Also, I keep up with the, I don't know why, but I keep up with the many legal services available for watching anime. It's a weird little side obsession of mine that I have. I don't know, man. I just like looking into, like, what services are available and everything. For instance, there's only, like, one in Thailand, so it's able to get everything. It used to be called, like... Wait, Thailand or Taiwan? Maybe I'm thinking of Taiwan. Thailand might have two. One of those countries, whichever one's actually China but not China, they had a service called, like it was called something gamer, and it was, like, originally something else, but it was, like, also a streaming service, and so they were, like, expanding into grabbing anime, and then they started grabbing, like, and then they, like, changed it to its own service called, like, Bahamut Anime Crazy or something like that. They did that just this season. Look, I don't know why I keep up with this shit, but I do. It fascinates me so much, the world of legal anime. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, let's look. We got High Dive, Crunchyroll, Funimation, Anime Lab, Wakanim, Hulu, Animax Asia, Anime Digital Network, Anime On Demand, Aniplus Asia, Aniplus TV, Amazon Prime, Vivid, Ponymoo, Yamoto Animation, Bahamut Anime Crazy, Muse Asia, Anyone, Selecta Vigiano, Vivo Play, Flixa, Tencent Video, yes, Tencent also has a streaming service where they get anime. WeTV, Dim Sum Entertainment, IGIYI, and the newest one, Aniverse. IGIYI and Dim Sum Entertainment are also pretty new. I think WeTV is pretty new. Tencent Video only started getting anime recently as well. Flixa's a bit more crazy. Vivo Play is kind of old. I think it was earlier this year. Selecta Vision is the Spain and Portugal one. But they didn't get anything this season, I don't think. Maybe they got, like, one? No. Those are all the legal services I know about. It's probably not all of them in the world, but it's most of them. Oh, that do simulcasts. Obviously, there's extra stuff that do late streaming, like Adult Swim sometimes gets popular shows and stuff, but those are the ones that do simulcasts that I know of. I guess YouTube also does, but actually some of those were YouTube channels. Like, they only put the stuff up on their YouTube channels, and you have to, like, pay through the YouTube channel thingy. But yeah, they have their own name. It's the channel name, not just, like, YouTube. When I was in the student council, our room was smaller, colder too, like working out in a meat locker, not like you spoiled kids. What a waste, sitting here in your giant room, doing nothing. Aren't there only 3 of you? That makes having so many desks only seem like an unnecessary display of mindless decadence. Appalling. You must use the desks you need, and not one more. It is part of my code. Yeah, well, you're not the fucking one who runs this place, mate. Maybe odd of me to think so, but hearing only one half of the conversation is pretty strange. Also, that's some code. Now that I've arrived, he changes the subject and starts talking about the reason he's here. Hideaki and I are going on a trip. What are you doing? Does everyone use a sign language mumble while they do it? No, but I'm just an amateur. It helps me think. It's kind of like a force of habit. Just an amateur. Unbelievable. Fine. Turns back to Shizune, just in time to catch her shaking her head from side to side. Are you sure you won't be coming along? She reiterates the gesture. Fine. Can you tell her to call me if she needs anything? Yes. I really think sending an email would have been easier, though. I'm not going to read emails on my phone. If she won't speak, she can call Hideaki. I suppose if I have to be reached, you would have to call me, or that other girl would have to call me. Actually, all 3 of you can just call Hideaki. And with that, he swiftly turns and leaves. He swiftly turns and leaves, Hideaki trailing behind him. A long trip for something that took 5 minutes. Neither of them can express their feelings very well. In Shizune's case, I have to question whether she would if she could. It explains a lot, but she doesn't seem unhappy with the arrangement. Even so, I wonder if she might be. When the door closed behind them, leaving Shizune and me by ourselves, she lets out a deep breath that seems to echo in the silence of the room. It's totally ridiculous, asking me to go on a trip. The timing couldn't be worse. It overlaps the student council elections, for one. Second, I haven't even cleared up Misha. Oh, I haven't even cheered up Misha. If you consider that, it's annoying to even have someone else to think about. Yeah, but you might be too focused on all that stuff right now. Shizune adjusts her glasses roughly. Completely 100% right. The minute I decided I was going to cheer up Misha, everything else went on the back burner, I suppose. Thinking your dad might care about you more than he lets on. I know. So then it could be a good idea. No. And then again, more firmly, as if for both of us. No. After coming this far, I can't take a break. A vacation would be jarring. It would be like waking up in a different life. Yesterday was like my vacation, so now I have to go all in. I'm sorry, but it's just how I am. I wonder what Yuko said that she found Shizune brave. In a kind of way, I think I understand what she meant, and I have to agree. Even though it could also be called recklessness and foolishness and pointless stubbornness, I guess you could call it bravery too. Too many ands, Sasao. However, I can see that there is a fundamental flaw in Shizune's thinking that I hadn't noticed until now. I'm sure that Shizune has reflected longer and more arduously than I could about where she messed up to create such a bad situation between her and Misha. However, as typical for her, she wouldn't let it hold her back and immediately sets out to fix the problem. This completely ignores a large part of the problem, Misha herself. Moving from critical introspection to holding Misha up as part of a goal causes the person to get lost in the shuffle. Shizune has said a lot in the past few days, but nothing about how Misha feels. Shizune's way of thinking is abnormal. Few normal people would reject a friend and then expect things to go back to the way they were so easily. Shizune does because she sees life as Shizune does because she sees life as, if I had to put it simply, capable of being segmented and compartmentalized. Misha, like anyone else, sees it as a whole experience, a long, continuous journey, where one moment of heartache can follow you forever. So Misha is like a long-running narrative show, and Shizune is a arc show, where arc starts, arc ends, arc starts, arc ends, and there's no bigger overarching narrative or things that cross over between the arcs. It's just arc starts, arc ends. Next arc starts, then it ends. It's like fucking Hero Arc. A Hero Arc is an arc show, and it sucks for it. For Shizune, event is an event, and a few of them cross over. Life is compartmentalized around triumphs, failure, and decisions, where each one stands as its own story. It's why the thought of a vacation is jarring to her. It's why she can only I keep stumbling over my words now. It's why she can only appreciate people's immediate emotions. It's exactly how someone obsessed with living in the moment would think, really. Likewise, Shizune can see Misha as a friend, but I doubt that she's ever thought of Misha as anything more until recently, or questioned anything about her. Misha as Misha would be enough for her, even if to Misha it must be unbelievably trifling. Trifling? Shizune is just Shizune. Blah, god damn it. Saying her name so much. Shizune is just Shizune to herself. It's likely she doesn't even think about the after effects of her actions in the long term. As long as they split up other people's lives, to Misha... as long as they stir up other people's lives. To Misha, though, I'm sure it made her seem almost heroic, like Yuko admiring her bravery and even myself. And Shizune's thoughts on that sentiment are that it was good she could touch someone's life, but it ends there. It's easy to captivate, much harder to nurture. On the next thing, thinking of life in terms of almost complete isolated events has a tendency to isolate a person too. This is trying to remedy it now. The point remains, there is simply no way Shizune could have avoided hurting Misha. Her emotional investment in Shizune was something Shizune wouldn't account for, so she didn't. Combined with her personality, it was inevitable. Both of them have pretty much told me all of that in bits and pieces over the past couple of months I've known them. In the middle of considering their differences, an idea begins to take shape in my mind. Are you working on your plan right now, this second? Your cheer up Misha plan? Of course. I was thinking about it the whole time I was being yelled at. Flicking her glasses up to the bridge of her nose with an oddly triumphant air, she taps her fingers against her temple. It's multitasking. Really? Isn't it more like you're able to concentrate on something like that because they can't hear? Well, whatever. When I ask her what she thinks of mine, it turns out we've both arrived at a similar idea. The polygamy plan. Polygamy my brain. God, I can't fucking speak. How long has it been? Almost 3 hours? No wonder I can't fucking speak. Head empty, visual novel only, or something, whatever that meme is. Deaf. Going insane. But I thought I was so close. I thought I was so close to the end of the Shizune route. I was like, I can reach it. I can end it today. But if I go for too much longer, there won't be enough time for Pokemon. And let's just keep going anyway. Oh. Let's just keep going anyway. Should be fine. Although it makes me feel kind of uneasy since we're talking about a human being, the first step is to corner Misha. Just stream forever. I'd die. Mood. The situation is a little too much for something out of a cop drama for me. I've come to this... What? Oh, it's coming to this because talking to a normally is proving to be near impossible. But we do have classes together, even the very first class of the day. Honestly, just be aware that I may stop it at any second. I'm not actually committing to going for another hour or half hour or anything. It could... Maybe I should just stop. I don't know. Although it takes a while for the announcement to come, the second that I hear we're going to be working in groups today, Shizune and I try to make sure Misha is in ours. You know, I think Muto assigns a suspiciously large amount of group work and self-study, don't you think so? But it's easy, so it's okay, right? Yeah, there's other stuff that I've been thinking about lately. That might not be okay, though. Misha nods after each sentence, then brushes it aside. I thought about it, and I don't do enough work when I work with you and Shik-chan, so I'm gonna try harder today, so don't distract me, Hik-chan. I have to stay focused. Stop and read Neopets events instead. I think that would melt my brain way faster if I did that. Neopets events are nuts. What if I stop and do Neopets events instead? Neopets streamer from now on, every day Neopets. I'm kidding, of course, but you know, if I was a nutcase, I could do that. I could actually just stop and become a Neopet streamer and lose all viewership. I guess you'd stay for that, Toast. You'd probably find it wild as I do all the dumb events. It's an untapped market, dude. The Neopets streaming market. I need a. There can't be many people that do that. I'll go in there and be the only one, and that'll make me popular somehow. I'll fill that niche market. That's the thing, though, with streaming, actually. Being more specific is a lot better for gaining viewership, but it caps your viewership way more faster. You would have to read the guides for the events anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but I'd actually be doing them as well. Unless you want to randomly click on stuff for days. I'd be reading it and doing it is what I was saying, but I'm actually not going to do that. But I do want to talk about what I was just saying, which is the whole thing about viewership. Like, if you just stream one thing, say you only stream like a series of games or a specific genre of games, a genre that's very strict, not a broad genre, like obviously like playing just a bunch of different action and FPS games, like that's just basically being a variety streamer, but a bit more specific. No, I'm talking like if you just stream like one game or a very specific genre, like if I just streamed visual novels, or if someone just streamed like point and click games that are kind of all the same when they're in that genre. If you did something like that, you gain viewers way more quickly, because you pretty much start to get everyone who's into that genre or into that game watching. And since you're always that game, as long as someone's just into that game or into that genre, they can get it and they follow you. It's like, oh, this person just does this, it's always going to be this, it's never going to be something I won't want to watch. Follow. But then you hit your cap, because eventually everyone who cares about it, or everyone who cares about it and also happens to like your commentary, is going to be following you. And then where do you go? You got nowhere to go after that. Small fish in big pond, or big fish in small pond. Yeah, pretty much. Like with the Neopets thing. That'd be big fish in small pond. Because how many people care about watching Neopets streamers? I'm sure some people do. But if I was to say do that and then be the only one, it would be like really dumb, because like eventually everyone who could possibly care would be watching me, and I'd be this biggest fish in this small pond. And how big is that fish even gonna be, really, with something like that? But that's beside the point. Unless it's too overly saturated, like League of Legends. Like, if you just play League of Legends, sure, you can get huge viewership from that, but most people, there's like, probably like 150 people streaming it with 0 viewers. Like, that's a big pond that already has all its big fish, you know? I don't know. It's just something I thought, because I noticed you grow a lot quicker. But I'm like, well, yeah, but you're also going to stagnate a lot quicker. That was an annoyingly transparent dodge. Shizune doesn't look too happy either, since Misha didn't bother to sign any of it, opting to twirl a pen in her hands instead. From the shaky way she was doing it, I'm sure it was so she wouldn't sign anything inadvertently. From the way Misha looks, distracted and uneasy, I doubt it's because she wants to keep Shizune out of the loop for any malicious reason, although it's still obviously a way of distracting Shizune, distancing Shizune from herself. Shizune wants to talk to you. Can I wait until later, Hikchan? No. Why not now? I'm in the middle of class. Now she's spinning a pen in each hand. I'm beginning to think her signing has turned into a kind of nervous tic for her. This isn't a good replacement, although the sight of her dual wielding is pretty impressive. After class, then. After class, I don't waste a second bringing it back up. So everyone else files out of the classroom, leaving the 3 of us alone. Misha takes increasingly longer glances in every direction except forward. Do you want to get something to eat? Why do you and Shikchan keep asking me if I want to eat something, Hikchan? Because we're all headed to the cafeteria, and we haven't eaten together in a long time, so why not? Is this about the student council? Taking Shizune's lack of reply as admission, Misha sighs. Shikchan, is that all you ever think about? Before Shizune can reply, she leaves. I have to say, I'm not left feeling very confident after what just happened. Neither of us were expecting it to go smoothly, but it would have been nice. Reading my mind, Shizune curls a finger around her glasses for a while before signing. I know what you're thinking, but no. It's not that I think we should give her some space now. I told you I wouldn't give up so easily. Yeah, well, now I'm starting to wonder if it's not too soon. Cold feet? Well, I'm not going to. That would be giving up on her. There's a fine line between helping someone and smothering them, but I just want Misha to pull herself together and stop acting so weird. I know she can do it, even if she wants to try. People don't change overnight. If they could, the world would be a much easier place. Okay, you win. And I guess this is the part where we split up and look for her. Though I'm the only one who is really supposed to find her. If I run into her first, I'll call your cell phone. Smiling, Shizune takes out her cell phone, turning it on to prepare. I notice that she has an extremely high number of unread messages, and looking at her expression, so does she. Twirling it around by the strap a couple of times, she grimaces. I don't like using this thing. Why can't I just snap my fingers? And then what? I'm not a dog, and it doesn't travel as far as a phone signal. You're having a lot of fun with this, aren't you? Shaking her head from side to side, she continues. It's obvious where she will go. You can look for her on the school grounds. She would want to go as far away as she can. Check the tea shop. It's usually empty this morning, but she loves to go there if she feels like skipping class, and she loves the parfaits they have there. I really know a lot about her, but she would overthink it and turn it into something that would seem a lot more backwards than it actually is. So I choose to just nod and leave instead, until I feel her holding onto my sleeve. What? I say instinctively, forgetting that she can't hear me. It feels nice that I don't have to do it all by myself anymore, because I can trust you. I'm really happy. Makes me happy to hear it. I can't think of a way to respond and end up only nodding again. Alright, that reminded me, I wanna... Oh god! I'm gonna make a note of some things. This'll do. Misha's head is huge compared to those silhouettes. Yeah, it really is. I can't spell. Why can't you spell? Misha's head is huge compared to those... Oh, silhouettes? You spelled wrong? Yeah, well, I knew what you meant. Yeah. It's not like it matters. You don't spell very accurately anyway. You didn't capitalize the I and you didn't put a thingy between N and T and can't. You do it in Discord a lot as well. You don't punctuate. Who designed that word? It sucks? Yeah, it really does. I've had to spell it before. It's not a fun word. It's grammar? Whatever. Yeah, grandma. F for my brain. No, that's fine. Although I do notice that you don't do grammar a lot. Especially you don't capitalize the first words of your sentences and don't capitalize I. Which isn't that bad, but that bothers me. I don't care if people don't capitalize nouns, but... I'm also... I don't actually care about other people doing it. I'm not calling you out. I hate when I do it by accident. So I always capitalize my first letters and my I's, but that's it. This is the internet, so yeah, I'm not trying to call you out. I realized it sounded like I was, and then I went, wait, no, I just mean I am really anal about that, and I noticed that you're not. I'm not super anal usually, but it's just those two things that for some reason I am. Elite speak. Oh yeah, boys. Eira in the chat. What are you gonna do? Boobs, haha. Yeah, nice one. It's like when you get the calculator. You spell boobs on it. Heading outside, I catch a glimpse of pink hair behind some other girl's head, and as I head that way, I realize that this isn't the way to go if you want to leave school. It's the way to the student council room. If I wanted to avoid Shizune, I wouldn't head there. It's strange that Misha would be going in that direction then. Maybe she wants to talk things over with Shizune? In which case, I have to wonder if letting things play out naturally would be such a bad idea after all. Especially if it seems to be going in a good direction. Suddenly, Misha stops and spins around, catching me by surprise. Surprise, Hik-chan! Were you looking for me? I had a feeling. I was gonna say, hey, I was just looking for you, but I suppose that's no good now. She hasn't even finished with her sentence before she blows past me, heading for the exit. I have to admit that Misha is infuriatingly sharper than I'd expected, also surprisingly fast. Although it's more physical activity than I think I should be getting, I managed to catch up with her halfway to the gate. $59009, and then you turn it upside down. Yeah. You're really being the rudest woman in the world right now. Can you just stop trying to run away for a second? I want to talk to you. She turns on her heels, looking mildly amused, and raises her hands as if to tell me to go on. Now that I've got her attention though, it's hard for me to think of the right thing to say. Where are you going now? Shanghai. Can I go with you then? Waiting for her to answer feels like an eternity. It's almost as if I can hear my wristwatch ticking off the individual seconds. Okay then, Hik-chan. I get the sense that she only agreed because she doesn't want to argue anymore today. When we get there, a couple comes in after us, causing Misha to jump slightly at the noise. Seeing that it isn't Shizune, she relaxes again, smiling almost as usual in order to order a parfait from Yuko and sliding into the nearest booth. You ran off too fast. You could have at least waited to see what I was going to say. Misha's angry reaction tells me it could be that she was afraid of what Shizune might say. Why are you both doing this, Hik-chan? Because Shizune still wants to be your friend. I guess that for her, it's kind of like launching a nuclear missile from a submarine. You need 2 keys to do it. What else can she do, though? She isn't automatically signing whatever she hears or says anymore, and I'm sure that is the reason Shizune has been having so much trouble with her. If she tried to just talk it over, you wouldn't listen. Misha's guilty expression tells me I've hit the mark. Do you really hate Shizune that much? No, Hik-chan, I told you that. She answers without even flinching, hardly playing with a spoon. Yeah, I know. I'm sure she knows it too, but I wonder if it might be easier if you did. The only thing she's really thought about for the last week is how to make you happy. Since Shizune still touched you yesterday, though, she thought that maybe it would be easiest for you if you just hated her. Since you didn't tell her you hate her, Shizune thinks that you can both still be friends. She's like that, only thinking in extremes. The parfait is starting to melt, the ingredients coming together in tiny rivers that remind her of the growing roots of a tree. Of the growing roots of a tree being shown through time-lapse photography. yep. That's stupid. Shik-chan isn't that stupid, Hik-chan. Don't be ridiculous. It's got nothing to do with intelligence. Smart people can do stupid things. And anyway, isn't it true? I was terrified last week when we talked. But at the end, I was relieved, because it sounded like things might go back to normal. I wasn't expecting you two to have a fight right after. It wasn't a fight, Hik-chan. It was just me yelling at her. I've noticed that Misha's voice never really changes in tone, just volume. It's so low with guilt that I can hardly believe it came from her. Either way, I was happy, because I thought you and her could still be friends, since she needs you. No she doesn't, Hik-chan. So, how do you know that? There's a lot of things Shizune doesn't vocalize. Say? Talk about? I'm afraid if I say the wrong thing, it'll ruin the mood. I get to finally have a conversation with her, and don't want to screw it up. I wonder if this is the first time she's had an honest conversation with me. Just because she didn't tell you doesn't mean she doesn't like you. It doesn't make sense. Yes it does, otherwise she would argue back. Wahaha. You don't think so? She picks fights with everyone, so why not you? Obviously because you're your friend, and she values you, and Shizune knows how too. She's just awful at showing her feelings. Usually does it the wrong way too, but she still likes you. Hik-chan, do you remember when I said I didn't want to hate Shik-chan or upset her? The truth is, I ended up doing both. Now it's like there's, like, an awkwardness between us. It's hard to explain. Both of you were so stubborn. You were talking about how you didn't want to drift apart from Shizune, but then you're gonna let it happen. And Shizune is just as bad. She wants to be a friend, but respects you too much to be as aggressive as she'd be with anyone else. And I'm sure that Misha interprets Shizune giving her space as a lack of caring. I screwed up already, Hik-chan. It'll happen again, I'm sure. When I think about it that way, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It feels like either way, I'll end up making things worse. Then, it might be better if I don't do anything at all, right? Don't be ridiculous. Why would you ever think that way in the first place? Be more positive. It should be easy for you, I want to say, but that would be presumptuous. Hik-chan, I never knew you were so optimistic. I never expected it. You always act so gloomy when I try and surprise you. No, this is a recent thing, really. I just hate it when people give up easily now. Ha. Now, Makes me mad when people give up. I used to think that giving up was kind of like running away, since that's how people always describe it. But now that I think about it, it's usually more like throwing something away. When you run away from something, you can think of it as still being there. So I was in the hospital, and I didn't just want to run away from my problems. I wanted to never think about them again. She eats a spoonful of her grey ice cream goo. Did she only just remember it was there now, or could it be she likes it that way? Anyway, my point is you can't do that. People are too sentimental to just throw their memories out like that. It's impossible. Shizune can't think of life in terms of anything but winning and losing. Don't you think she wishes she didn't have to remember the parts where she loses? You can't pick and choose though. That's like wanting to live in a bubble. The worst part is, your way of thinking is so wasteful. It's making you so pessimistic you're afraid of everything. Come on. I grab her hand as I wave Yuko over from with the other to pay for our food. Where are we going now? Back to school before lunch is over, but I want to check out a few places before then. Although I start feeling tired, even after doing what could be described as on the level of a brisk jog at best, Misha and I eventually make it to the gate of the school with a little over 10 minutes to spare. I didn't even want to really come to this school, you know. I didn't have a choice when I got to this gate. I'm sure part of me was thinking, what a depressing place. It doesn't look depressing at all though. Well, I still thought I had everything figured out. I felt practically like another person. If I could, I'd go back and tell myself to stop thinking. He can write everything off at a glance and acting like his life is already over, and he can never have fun again. School grounds are still littered with quite a few people. It's lunchtime, so it's typical. This is where you and Shizune had me helping you put together 2 festivals. What a lot of hard work. I thought, I don't have time for this. When I look back on it though, I didn't do all that much. I also didn't have anything better to do. I'd have just spent the time alone. I drag her to her homeroom next, which is empty except for Muto trying to eat a sandwich before classes resume. Every time I thought of either of you, I wished you would leave me alone, whether it was here or... Leaving Muto to his lunch, we head for the nearby vending machine, and I grab a soda while I still have 5 minutes to drink it. I spent an entire lunch period with Misha, longer than both Shizune and I have managed to talk to her in days. Following me into the cafeteria, trying to corner me after half of my classes. I never realized we only talked like 4 times. It really was all in my head. I only barely realized it now. I remember that, Hik-chan, but I know where all of these places are too. Wait, let me finish my guided tour, since we're running out of time. By the way, do you want a soda? Making our way to the stairwell, I'm glad that I didn't have to pull her by the hand anymore. You get dizzy on stairs, right? Yeah. I guess just here is good enough then. I lean against the wall as Misha sits down on the steps across from me. Do you ever miss the people you went to school with in elementary school or middle school? No? That was fast. She didn't even have to think about it. I found myself cringing. What? Grinning reflexively. I had more friends in my old school, but I don't talk to them anymore. It almost feels like that was another lifetime ago, which is sad, really. Sometimes I want to talk to them again, but I know I can't. I'm scared and embarrassed. Things like that. They're too far away for me to go see them. Then I think about calling them, but I don't know most of their numbers. And I left on a sour note, so why would they want to see me again? It feels like I should just forget about it, but I still think about it anyway and regret that I didn't try harder to stay in touch somehow. And I started to think that maybe feeling like I should forget about it is wrong. It would be an insult to all those people I had fun with and a waste of all the good times. Like I said before, even if there are some bad times too, it's alright if you can look back on them as happy memories. But I didn't even think about it then, so it was like I woke up one day and realized I had no friends. I just let myself lose all my friends, and it felt awful. I'd really hate it if you and Shizune ended up the same way, that's all. That's all? Hang on, I need to do something again. My brain really is getting so fuzzy now. Streamer dies. I might be getting there. Makes me sad to think that you'll do the same thing and push away your friend, especially because you're not far away from Shizune. I mean, you even live in the same dorm. Friend, Monk ass. Aren't you my friend too, Hik-chan? Yeah. You slept through all of it, but the fireworks were really nice way back at the festival. My first time seeing fireworks like that, and my first time really seeing the sky in a while, and I'd never really looked at the stars before then either. I had fumbled through a book about them while I was in the hospital though, and learned a lot. Like that stars aren't just burning, they're more like a constant chain of explosions, so far away that some of the stars I'd be seeing would have been burnt out for thousands of years already. They're not a constant chain of explosions, it's like a nuclear reactor it's gravity just pushing... it's just a reaction, it's just gravity pushing things into each other. But then eventually the reaction becomes unstable, and yes, then it explodes. And it either becomes a red dwarf or a... What's the other thing it can become? There are a few things. There's like 3 different things that can become. I can't remember the others. Why do I only remember red dwarfs? Whatever. I feel like a constant chain of explosions is just a very wrong way to describe it. Don't fuck with me, Hasao. I love space. I've read more of it than you, bitch. It's that their light would only just then be reaching Earth. I saw a mock-up comparing the size of the planet to our sun, and then that to our sun's Japanese wasn't even visible on the tiny Earth in that book. You know what I never realized? She looks at me expectantly. They're amazingly shiny. It's true. Why are you doing this, Sick-chan? Doing what? I'm not stupid. I know, a bunch of reasons. Because you're Shizune's friend. And I liked how close you were. And maybe I'm trying to tell you that we all have our low points. But giving up is stupid. Anyway, it seems worth the trouble. That's the only reason? And you're my friend. That's it? Can I do something for no reason? You can, but I want to know. Well, what else do you want to hear? The bell rings before Misha can reply, so she ends up laughing instead. I see less of Misha in the following days, but I don't worry because when I do see her, she looks a little bit more like her old self each time. Once it's clear enough that I don't have to be afraid of it being my wishful thinking, coloring my perceptions, I start to relax again. Oh god, the frames. I wake up very early, and feeling sick on Sunday, I went to sleep too early last night too. Something's also wrong with my curtains, and they won't close completely. Because of that, I can't even attempt to go back to sleep. The sun hits me in the eyes every time. I'm sure this is probably why I woke up so early this morning as well. Being this sick and tired is a perfect storm of frustration. I'm almost glad when there's a knock at the door. It's a familiar person holding an almost completely eaten apple in his hand. Taking one last bite, he attempts to shoot it into my trash can and misses completely, and it smashes apart on the wall 2 meters too high. To be fair, most of the pieces afterwards do manage to fall into the trash can, but I'm pretty sure no one is so brazen that they would be aiming to do something like this on purpose. Reminds me of when I accidentally threw a rock at a car. Look, I was being peer pressured because I had a rock, and people were like, hey, throw it at a car when it comes past. We were in school, and it was peer pressure, and I just wanted everyone to shut up, so I'm like, you know what would be easy? Missing. And then I can be like, I tried, guys, but I missed, and then they wouldn't pressure me anymore. So I threw the rock as a car was going past, planning to miss, hits the road, explodes, and then multiple rock shards fucking ram into the car, and I'm like, oh god, that might be worse. It's a disaster. And it didn't even do any damage. The owner of the car literally said, oh, there's a few dents, but those were already there before. The rock literally did nothing. And then the vice principal is like, okay, my student did nothing. Let me punish him anyway. I was like, what the fuck? Perfect shot. What's up, roomie? Not your roomie. We don't live in the same room. Doesn't matter. It does. You should at least know the difference between living in the same building and living in the same room. I need to use your room. For what? I messed up. I should have said absolutely not. Student council keeps delivering my mail, even though I asked them to put it in my locker or something. But they keep putting it out on my door, delivering my mail without me noticing it. So today, I'm trying to wait to catch them in the act, like a detective or a safari hunter. I need to chill in your room for today and look through the little peephole, or I won't be able to catch them in the act. And maybe tomorrow, too. It'll be awesome. We'll get pizza on both days. Or should we get pizza on just one day and something else on the other day? But what? And which day is pizza day? Not today. Never. You know, I'm in the student council. Why don't you just ask me about this? If he had, I would have been able to find out very easily and wouldn't have to have Kenji in my room. It's a win-win. Except, I guess this way he might be able to get a pizza out of me. Start thinking that maybe this was Kenji's intentions. But, no, I doubt it. There's no way he could plan something that elaborate. You know, when they deliver mail, well, no, they just hand me my mail when I go to student council usually. The point is I could find out by asking them, then I'd know and I could tell you. That's how people find things out, by asking. Not caveman. Oh yeah, no response to that, right? Checkmate. Use your own, people. What if they see me? They can't, that's how people's work. It's like a one-way glass. For real? Well, no way. They'll be expecting me to be in my room anyway. They'll sense my presence and know I'm there. They'd never expect me to actually be in the room across the hall. I'm gonna go to the student council room and go get your mail for you right now. And I guess I can't let you leave. That's dumb. What do I have to use the toilet? The games won't work on me. Sit down at my desk and start doing my homework for the weekend. You know you're gonna have to leave eventually, so you can't stay here forever, or keep me here forever. I mean, this is my room to start with. Yeah, I think I can. What time's the mail usually come? Oh no, I don't think I can. Now. Why are women so slow? Why do you care so much about the mail anyway? Aren't you expecting something? Are you expecting something? I'm always expecting something. Not today, though. Do you want them to send something? Do you even send mail? Nope. That's how they get you. Haven't used the mail since I was 8. Sent a letter to Lego asking them to make Dragon Ball Legos. They said they couldn't get the rights and give me some coupons. Totally worth it. But after that, I made sure to stay off the radar. You don't use mail, do you? I wrote to my parents last week. But that's how they get you. Yes, I should have known. Maybe that's why they put microchips in me the next day. So, the rumors were true. I'd like to know what rumor mill he got that from. I was kidding, it's a joke. Joke? Damn, he would joke on me? I guess this is how it feels, to have jokes cracked on. I never thought it'd happen to me. This is a serious issue. Man, I think you are not appreciating the depth of my dilemma. It's a work in many acts, complicated acts with many players. It's really hard, okay? After I'm done, I'm gonna eat a whole fish to celebrate. Oh shit, I wanted a pizza though. I wanted a pizza. Though I still want a pizza. Can I get fish on the pizza? Do they do that now? Now? Mate, fish on pizza is pretty common. Anchovies. You can get anchovies on many pizzas. And prawns too. If we're just talking about any kind of seafood. You're gonna be paying for it. You still haven't paid me back. And I'm not hungry right now anyway. Not in the mood for pizza? That's not possible, son. Always in the mood for pizza. Pizza's great. It's gotta be pizza. Anyway, I'm in the pizza stage of my life. Before I was in an ice cream stage, but my girlfriend kept eating all the strawberries out of my Neapolitan. It'll probably happen to you too. Is that how you say that? I don't know. It's hard to tell if he's serious half the time. I can only see his expression when he's not nose deep in my book. What? Nose deep in my door? I doubt that. Hey, you know that I do have a girlfriend, right? Not Iwanako either. The student council president, actually. Old news. What? Seriously? I have my sources. Anyway, then it dawned on me that I'd gotten fat from all that ice cream. It was a rude awakening, like sleeping on a beach and getting hit by a wave that destroys your sandcastle. I started running, had to lose the pounds, but maybe I was really running away from myself. A sudden and continuous knocking caused him to leak backwards far enough to hit the wall all the way behind him. Take the opportunity to walk over and open the door. Good morning. What's up? I hear if you sold the doorway, they can't enter uninvited. That's... Well, vampires can't enter uninvited regardless. I can't remember what the salt is for, though. What is it that stops... What's salt to stop from entering? I'm not gonna put salt in my doorway. But you're considering it? Good. Wait, what? No, I just said I'm not going. Good morning, are you here to deliver the mail? Noting Shizune waves a couple envelopes between our faces. I take them from her, freeing up my hand for conversation. How did you know? How did you know? You were hiding it behind your back in a really obvious way. Hiding what? The mail. It's okay, I wasn't trying very hard to hide it in the first place. That's not like you. You're the type of person who'd go, anything worth trying is worth trying hard. Girls take an initiative. And what about me? I've been using that phrase for years. Where's my parade, dog? I spit literally, what? Oh, I spit literally gold and you women just steal it and wear it out like a 2-for-1 sundress. You're like the You're like the Picard to my Kirk, or you could even be Janeway. Not all the time. Are you making fun of me? Finally, noticing Kenji, she gives him a wave. Hey Kenji, the student council president says hi. Hi. Introduce me. I have no idea what he was saying, but it looked confident. Oh yes, no one is better at saying that kind of stuff confidently. I already did. I even introduced you by title. This is Kenji. He's the guy across the hall. His room is right behind you. Anyway, do you have his mail too? I'm only delivering your mail because I was there. I have early access. It's all about location. Consider it as a perk of being in the student council. That doesn't sound very fair. She takes a little liberties with her position. At least they're small ones. This is the first time I've really been able to see your room. It's a blatant lie, or she'd have signed it much faster. I'm sure Shizune remembers that it's not the first time. Why does he get to see your room and I can't? Is it a guy thing? It's not a secret club being a guy. It should be, with rings. Rings with big ass emblems, and gold. Are you sure? Are you really sure? I always thought that there was a secret brotherhood of men. Why is she ignoring me? Let me tell her about the guy club. Also, what's up with the hand signals? Is she trying to hex me or something? No, stay out of this. I'll have to translate anything you say to her, and I'm not sure if I could even handle it. And she'll probably misunderstand it, and then you'll probably misunderstand the reply, and I'll have to translate your rebuttal. Rebuttal? Why would I rebut? I like my butt. What is he saying? He says he has no rebuttal. Rebuttal to what? I haven't even begun to challenge him yet. I don't like the way she put that, so it appears that she wants to, but about what? It doesn't matter, since it wouldn't end well. Don't make fights when there are none. I've never met your friends. Why can't I? It looks like his being passionate. I suppose with the way he's flailing about, it would be stupid to expect Shizune to think otherwise. Anyway, I'd better change the subject. Not that it would be likely to work on her, but I'm sure that she has to have some reason for to have come here for a reason, other than just to drop my mail off. If it was something that tiny, she wouldn't have even bothered knocking. You didn't come here just to give me mail or chat up my friends, did you? Shizune snaps her fingers in mock frustration. It's as cringe-inducingly loud as ever. You're right. Let's go somewhere again. Sorry about that. But my mind is just so... I mean, it's bound to happen. I've been reading for 3.5 hours. My brain is so fuzzy. That's probably the best way to describe it. It feels fuzzy. It feels like it's full. You want the Pokemon stream still? God damn it! But oh, my brain, I just... Alright. I'll still do the Pokemon stream. But this stream's definitely ending. At the very least. I can't read more. I can't. Not right now. I just can't do it. Do whatever you want, my dude. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do the Pokemon stream. I just need to take a break from this reading. It's like... I mean, even when you read a real book, it's like... It's been 3.5 hours. Reading is not something I normally do for this long. I've taken in too much of the story, too much information. It's like my brain just feels like it's full. And it's like really fuzzy. And it's weird. I don't know. It's like I've gone on autopilot, though. I can definitely read, a lot better than usual. Like the way I'm able to just read the text and keep going through this visual novel and say it out loud way better than I usually can for the first hour or so. I've gotten into the groove, but by the time I've gotten in the groove, my brain's fuzzy or full. Look, that's the best way I can describe it. It's a very weird feeling. So yeah, I'm gonna take a short break, but like I'll just turn off the stream, take a short stream break, and then we'll come back in a bit, and I'll stream Pokemon, because the second DLC pack just came out for Sword and Shield. So if you want to stick around for that, just keep an eye out for that. It won't be too long. But there's 4 viewers here, so if you're one of the if you're one of the other viewers that isn't talking in chat, maybe you're already following. But if you're not, follow, and maybe then you'll notice when I come back to stream Poacher Man. If you don't care about Pokemon, feel free to follow anyway, so that you can see when I'm next streaming Katawa Shoujo, which will be in 3 days. And tomorrow will be Genshin Impact. So if you're interested in Genshin, follow. If you're interested in Pokemon, follow. If you're interested in more Katawa Shoujo, follow. Also, it's free to follow, you know, it's not like subscribing. And you can always just unfollow later if I end up annoying you with streams you don't care about. Did I save? I did save, great. Alright, everyone. Short break, and then I'll be back with Poacher Mans. And, I'll see you then. My brain's just... I just have to stop. I'm on great autopilot, and I'm actually understanding what I'm reading more than usual, but it's just... But it's not a comfortable feeling, I guess. I'll be back soon. Stay frosty till then. Don't even dare say stay warm, toast. You're going to be back in 30 minutes, so you have to stay frosty this time.